Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Idle Talk podcast. Episode 11. We're joined here by Matt and his wife Jess, who the owners of Phoenix GTS. Welcome guys.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
And yeah, as always, thanks to Octane Apparel for jumping on board and sponsoring the podcast again for another year. So yeah, it's good to have their support behind us.
Ryan.
Yeah, thanks Ryan. I guess we'll start with how you got into cars and how you got into the car scene in general. Or?
How did I get into cars? Oh, I've always been a car fanatic,
Yep.
even from a kid.
From like family?
No, not really, actually. Old man, brother, none of them really into cars. Just always, for some reason, just been a car fanatic. Loved it.
Yeah. Did you ever read like Street Machine magazine back in the day?
Loved it. Loved it. All in the 90s, early 90s, late 90s, Street Machine magazines on point. Loved it.
Yeah.
And a Hot Wheels boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was too. I read all the Hot Wheels stuff, man.
Yeah, his mum, like the collection of Hot Wheels cars that he had when he was little is beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, magazines definitely got people. And back then too, it seems to be like a massive array of magazines you could go through as well. Like,
definitely.
The Hot Fours are there for ages.
Yeah.
So always into cars, and then got into burnouts like a few years ago, or were you doing them like in this back in the day?
2021 was officially first ever professional burnout, believe it or not.
Where was that?
That was at Power Cruise in Sydney. Yeah.
Yep.
Debuted the same weekend that Clickbait did.
Nice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
there
just
you go.
Phoenix did 3 laps, 1 burnout.
I only managed to do a burnout on the Friday night and blew my brand new motor up. So that sucked.
Jesus. And was that straight to blown combo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was me getting drunk and harassing you since I think we were only together for a couple of years to go team out the bonnet. And it was just my chant continually. And then it was 6 years later, we finally bought a body of a shell. And we were already 3/4 of the way into the build of building this big blown car. And we had no idea what we were in for. We didn't know anything about the burnout scene. We didn't know what we'd signed up for.
Jesus.
But yeah, that first weekend we blew the motor up and we still were like, fuck yeah. This is awesome.
Let's do it again.
And we got it home, it was blown up in the shed, and we'd still just open the
I just go and
garage
have
door.
beers with it,
And we literally sit out there and we were like, we just blew up like a 50, 60k motor and we're okay. What is wrong with us?
Like, everything was still brand new, so it all looked amazing.
Yeah.
The car actually still drove onto the trailer. It's just it had like
No
10-pound oil pressure left. What happened was the gearbox wasn't fitted with a restrictor for the line pressures.
Yeah.
So obviously with no massive line pressure like it had, it pushed the crank through the front of the engine and just wrecked the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes down to cheap.
$7.50 part.
So I had the gearbox taken away, and they double checked it over, and then I took it to another place, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's just missing the line restrictor. The box is an animal of a gearbox. Whoever built it's done a great job. Just missing that one single part."
What gearbox is it?
It's just a Turbo 400.
Yeah.
But 1200 horsepower built.
Yeah.
Manualised trans brake.
Yeah, they're known
pattern.
for it, especially with the LSs, where they like exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Too much line pressure.
Yeah. It
had like 170-pound line pressure before they put the restrictor in it.
Yeah.
I think now it's got like 50, 55. I think it's got in it now.
Yeah.
Which is very normal.
So after blowing like that big dollar motor straight away, was there a time you're like, maybe we should like peel back a little bit, put a especially like you were chanting, like let's go. Like,
come on, I harped for years for this.
It still drove onto the trailer, so we got very lucky. Very lucky. So it didn't go rods out or anything, so we didn't wreck anything.
The block could stretch.
It wrecked the block, which was it was just an L98 block.
Okay.
I bought a LY6 cast block for it now. We put everything out of the old motor into this motor. It wrecked the crank. I had to buy a new crank, but kept the same rods, same pistons, same heads.
So you still, you're not spending everything
Yeah.
again. Like,
It sucked, but it was about 10 grand changeover.
Yeah.
And I got the motor that's in it now.
And that one's been in there for a while.
That one's been in it since then.
Yeah, but we do recondition it every...
So that's like 3 years roughly going.
3 years. It had a preventative maintenance rebuild in November last year. So just, rings, bearings, timing chains, oil pumps, just basic stuff. New valve springs, reseat all the valves, went over the
New oil
heads.
pickup.
Just all the stuff that is
Yeah.
basic preventative maintenance. Didn't get
Yeah.
new rods, didn't get new pistons, same stuff.
That's next year.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
And preventative maintenance works. Like it's you've
100%,
proven that.
Yeah. Heaps of people were like,
well,
what are you
honestly,
doing?
we rolled the bearings
Yeah.
out of it, and the engine builder's like, "Wow, Matt, if we were dodgy, we'd reuse these."
Like sell them to somebody else with like second-hand bits.
Yeah, like the car had done 50 odd burnouts, and he was like, "Whatever you're doing, it's working."
Far
So-
out.
That's good.
And what do
Yeah.
you do between that? Like fresh oil every event?
Every day.
Every
Or
burnout.
Every burnout fresh. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
for
like
sure.
so for like Power Cruiser Fridays.
We did 3 oil
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah. So you're going like all day. So like track and
Yeah.
skid.
Yep.
And
We'll
then
change
change.
before the
Yeah.
burnout.
No.
Oh,
So I
before.
done all the track.
Yeah.
And then changed it like for the day. Changed it, went done a skid, and then changed it again for the
For the
next
next
day.
for the next track day.
Yeah.
Not the next
Yeah.
day. Yeah. Okay.
So two oil
Okay.
changes each day for Power Cruise.
But yeah,
Shit, okay.
good
Yeah.
peace of mind. Pull the filter apart. At
Yeah.
least we won't run it if there's too much glitter. Like
Yeah.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, something the engine builder got me onto is just like, Matt, just cut the filter every time. So I just bought a proper oil filter cutter,
Yeah.
cut the filter, check it over.
I saw that actually
Yeah.
sitting on the ground when we were over
That
there.
it was
Sunday
all
Yeah.
cut
morning.
up, and
Yeah.
you could, yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're
Just-
looking at like a couple of $100 for oil, it's like
That's
it's a lot
it.
better than the
That's it.
$10,000
Yeah.
change
Yeah.
or a $50,000
Yeah.
if the entire engine
Yeah.
goes. Like when you sort of add it up that way, it's like it's
Yeah.
cheap
And
maintenance to.
I think
keep
with
on
the
going
last
on.
motor, when we lost it, but we caught it, so
Yeah.
it's a big thing for us to be checking it continually,
Yeah.
so we can at least save what we can.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. So what got you into being like, let's go out the bonnet straight up? Like, why were you so hard on being like, let's go all out?
Don't know. Well,
I think
we've
it was
always
more
been-
about my old GTS. I spent so much money on it.
Yeah, I was overpaying for rego on a street car that I get a phone call for. I'm coming in hot. Open that garage door. So we had
If we're going to go
original-
illegal, let's
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
Do it.
full
Yeah.
non-registered
Yeah.
car that's
That makes sense.
built for the events.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
But we had once he
Instead
bought.
of ringing, be like, oi, 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 open up.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he had an original VY GTS. It
Yeah.
was twin turboed, and then we went F1A Pro Charger.
yeah.
And then that's where he really started getting in trouble.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Is that
he's-
the red one?
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing was loud, man. That was a real loud car for a street car.
Yeah.
And it was fast. It made 734 horsepower at the wheels.
Fuck.
And it was manual. And yeah, it was a weapon.
And
I
had
did power skids in that car all the time, like fourth gear starts. It was epic.
Jesus.
Just
I had
revved
a-
up
That's
fourth
sick.
gear.
I had a
love
VX
that.
clubby,
Yeah.
and I was stealing the GTS all the time because it was better on fuel.
Fuck.
So I was racking the K's up on it, and then
Yeah.
he would get it, and he'd be like, "I'm going to work on a Wednesday night. Yeah, I'll be good. Wednesday night's good. I'm all right. I can take it to work for a run." And then I got to the point where I was like, "You're driving this like 4 times a year.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
This is beyond."
It's
So
not worth it. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
so
not worth the $1,300 a year in
Yeah.
rego plus
insurance.
Because I had full comp for the road insurance, where like Phoenix is fully insured, but it's just got the laid up cover,
Same as mine.
so it's,
yeah.
it's
yeah.
pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. And for what you get for it, like it makes sense.
100%.
Yeah,
so
I think we worked
saved
out.
thousands a year
Yeah.
just in that stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
And we were only doing power crews. That's all we knew. We only knew power crews.
Ah, yeah,
that was
okay.
it. And he
Yeah.
just did power skids. So that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And got to the point where I was like, what are we doing? Let's
Yeah.
let's make some fun out of it. And as I said, we didn't know what we were signing up for.
We didn't really know about this burnout world,
scene.
Yeah.
which is epic. Like, wouldn't go back. Like
Yeah.
the guys we've met along the way, like you guys, you know, everyone in the scene is just amazing. You know,
Yeah.
compared to the drag racing scene, you know, like the drag racing scene, it's just you don't get that same vibe from the same people. Like they're nice people, but you know,
They wouldn't rip a radiator out to
yeah, I
get
was
you
gonna
back
say,
out
yeah,
on the, in a
100%.
comp
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you're competing against
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, I don't want to talk
Yeah.
for like all of them, but yeah, I don't know if that would all help. Like,
No.
yeah, I think we've spoken about it before on the podcast. Like, we've seen Bubba at Rocky Nuts run across
Yeah.
the pits with a fuel
Yeah.
tank
Fuel
to
cell.
give to Kev.
yeah.
And like,
Oh,
you know, yeah, there's a photo of like,
Shout out to Bob.
but like shit like that. Like, you know, it's like, would a drag or do drag races or any other motorsports
Yeah.
do that for
Yeah.
other,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
other people? It's
Power
like,
Cruise in February, you know, I blew my radiator and Bubba went rods out and he was like, Matt, do you want to compete? Like, I'll rip
Yeah.
my radiator out for you right now. I'm like,
yeah.
it's all good, bro. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
Let's go on the trailer,
gives
don't worry about it.
Bubba's like, yeah, I've got it. I'll give it to you. But
Yeah.
yeah. And, which is great because I feel like everyone's like, I'd rather just see you have fun and compete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll stand there and watch it and
Well, I
that's
think
what
everyone knows how much you
it's
put
all
into
about.
getting to an event and how much pain and heartache there is behind the scenes. And then if you're in a position to help, it's like, you know,
Yeah, it's a
100%.
no-brainer. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it makes sense. Yeah, 100%. I
Yeah.
think I've done that before. Been like, whatever you need off the car, just go and rip it off, and we'll figure it out like afterwards or whatever.
Yeah, bloody oath.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You gave me an engine and shit. Like, yeah.
As soon as I told you I was going to the US, you're like, oh, you're taking my motor
Yeah.
with you, spare
Yeah.
motor.
And I blew it up anyway. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I said to him, I was like, do you want to take? Because I was like, oh, I'm having a baby, so I'm going to sit out until summer nats anyway. I was like, so mine's going to sit in there and not do anything. And then I was like, just take my spare whole motor, just have it like sitting there in your trailer with you.
Yeah.
And then we looked up like getting that over there. Like it'd be cheaper just to build one over there anyway if you bought all the parts. Like they're like $300. You can buy an LS.
Yeah, $300 for like
Yeah.
a stock bottom,
So, yeah.
stock long
So it's
range.
like by the time you pay for that to get
Yeah.
over there and everything, it was like, oh, I'll just do it. And then I ended up taking, and then I got a ticket to Brashnats and I blew it up. And I was like, oh, it's, like it is what it is. But, yeah, I was like, my bad. But yeah, that was the whole thing. I was like, yeah, if you're going, just take whatever spare parts you need off mine.
Yeah.
You'll be back before I need it for someone else, and we'll figure it out, or
Yeah.
like whatever. But yeah, didn't
Yeah, I
wanna
think
send-
us getting into the burnout scene was like we had multiple rally cars when we'd buy a rally car on a Friday, and it'd be a complete write-off by Sunday afternoon.
Don't know if you've had it up here, but we had a thing called the trading post.
Yeah,
yeah.
Buy the trading post.
At
And
the
you just go
survey,
through
like
and,
you buy the-
yeah,
Yeah.
and just buy the cheapest rally car you can find every weekend. That was our thing. Like, get paid. Sweet, let's go buy
Yeah.
the trading post
And
and buy a
then-
rally car.
Did
then-
you guys have a property or something?
Well, I was going to say there was this place called ACI Corner, and
Heaps of bushland. Like
it was just a pad in the middle of the
hectares
bush,
and hectares of
Yeah,
bushland.
right.
With
and
this
we'd
sneak
all.
spot.
It was like Sunday afternoon. If your rally car made it to Sunday, that was it. And like you'd be driving along the main road, you see the smoke, you just turn off into there. You go in there, and there was like 4 or 5 cars just
We had
blowing radiators,
Had it
tires.
set up. There was chairs out there. We'd take barbecues. We'd go out there and
Yeah.
just make a day of it and
Yeah.
do barbecues,
Far out.
beers,
And-
and burnouts.
and-
like,
Yeah, that's sick.
every
That's
weekend.
so
It
good.
was
That sounds
sick.
good.
Yeah, and when the red GTS got to that point where it was like, we're not using it, we didn't know about the burnout scene, but I was like, let's go have fun. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to team out the bonnet, and then I was like, well, let's go back to the roots. Like, you had fun doing burnouts at ACI. Didn't know what we were
The red
signing
car
up
never
for.
made it to ACI because it was too nice.
Yeah.
I didn't
can't.
want to do that to it.
yeah,
You can't chop that apart.
yeah. So what did you do with the red one? Did you sell it?
I sold it.
Sold
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
To help, like I guess, pay
It's-
for what
It's
you
gone
got
to
now.
Victoria now. So
Yeah.
I bought it from Queensland, came to New South Wales, sold in Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
it funded the goal was to have both of them together side by side, but my shopping list overspent Matt's.
I love how it's like you doing all this too. I was like,
Yeah, well we bought the body, and then we both did 2 years of shopping lists, didn't we? I
Yeah.
had a shopping list, you had a shopping list, and then we combined our shopping list. And
Just
that's
started going to all the
Phoenix.
events and checking out everyone's cars.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
asking
okay.
everyone questions
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
like what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, he
just-
wanted twin carby, so I wanted.
I was going the cheap route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not going to happen. We've already lived this dream with the old GDS that you were just going to upgrade. So let's just go whole hog at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you definitely nailed it with the mechanical injection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming
Oh.
from a carbureted guy, like
Yeah.
I would definitely step up, like if I could immediately.
Yeah, I said to him all the time. I'm like, what would your dream? He's like, just mechanical injection. Like, don't even fuck around.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, just, and they've got me onto carbies, and then the more I talk to him, he's like, if you do something big, go mechanical like straight
I
away.
would just
Yeah.
do it straight away.
Then you look
but
at
obviously
your-
there's budget and stuff
Yeah.
like
Well,
Yeah.
We like it as a couple because it doesn't matter. Every time he goes on that pad, we have agreed on what pill size.
yeah.
We agree
So,
on the tune. This
if
is
he
what we're gonna
blows the
make
motor
it.
up,
It's
we blew the motor up. There's
Ah,
no
yeah, okay.
argument
Yeah.
at the end of
Yeah.
it because it's my fault as much as his. So we
Yeah.
do the AFR reading.
That's good.
We pick the pill, then we play roulette. And
Yeah.
if he's
So you
rods
do that
in,
every track?
yeah,
every track,
Yeah, right.
every event,
every day,
burnout.
every time
That's
he goes
awesome.
there.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah, so
notice
you've got just as much of a say in it as like
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
drives the
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
because
so good.
like we don't want that. You don't want to like.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing we see from other couples on the
Yeah.
scene. Like, you know, you see the memes with the female, like the males died and the females hocked off the parts. Like
Yeah.
I'm the one that was like, hey babe, we need a clear view filter. And I sold it to him. That was $500. I knew how much it was,
Then I'm like,
and then I got
started
him
pricing it
sold
all up,
on
like,
it.
well, by the way, we're buying a Clearview, and she's like, Oh, are we?
Oh,
Like,
shit. You know how
yeah,
much
you didn't
they
tell
are
me
now.
it was like 1,200.
Like, inflation. I don't know what's happened the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
Price has gone up.
Yeah, I'm the husband. He's the wife. I'm the one that's like, you need leave, and he's like, why? I'm like, well, I got us a ticket. He's like,
We're going to
we
this
gotta
event,
stop.
this
We gotta
event.
stop. I'm like, yeah, but
Fuck.
we gotta go.
That's goals, though.
That's so
We gotta go.
Yeah, my wife did that. We drove out to Alice Springs, and when we did it, there was that email going around being like, you can drive around town, like you don't need rear brakes, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And we got out there, and then like, oh no, that was talking about someone it wasn't about Red Center, and then it was like a massive shit fight. And she's like, there's like 7 days of driving for us to get here and back, like we didn't come all this way. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll just skid it, and that's it. And she was like, no, we're not taking that. She's like, and then she didn't argue with the guy, but she was like, dude, we drove from Brisbane to here.
Yeah.
We're fucking not just skidding it. Like, what can you do? And he's like, oh, and they said, $50, and you can do the city cruise and stuff as well. We'll get around it that way. And then went back and forth a little bit, but I was just like, fuck it, I'll just get it like the weekend's over, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we negotiated for the Macca's run.
Yeah.
When we got Red Center nuts, we're like 6,000 kilometers here. Like we
That's
are.
all.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to do.
Just want the Macca's run. That's it.
why.
Yeah.
When we
Like, I'll
got there,
park
that's
it
all I
up.
wanted to do.
They
That's
ended
it.
up giving us a red pass so we could go driving,
Yeah.
which was pretty epic.
Yeah. Hence the recycle footage of the
Yeah.
Macca's run.
Red, is that
Yeah.
the times where you're allowed to drive?
Yeah,
Is
so
that-
it's like
Yeah.
some of that's back in the day. It was like from 10 a.m. till like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And then yellow was like 8 till 4, and then white was like
And
24/7.
the reds are more main roads only,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where the yellow you can kind of venture off into
Yeah.
other places. And then I think it was a green. Could have been a green. I can't remember.
Green or white or
But
something.
that
It was
was
like-
you
yeah.
go anywhere, do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which are basically the show and shine.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, it's good to have someone in your, like from a driver, like it's good to have someone in your corner that's like,
Yeah.
this is what we do this for, like this is what you want.
Yeah.
Whereas I was like, like whatever, I'll just go with it. And she's like, nah, man, we're not doing all this driving for
Yeah.
like 3 skids or 2 skids or like,
Yeah.
whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
I
good that you
think
can both like do that.
mine
like,
was just
that
too
shit.
loud. That was the problem with ours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they
it was-
didn't like that.
It was
but
181 decibels at idle.
Oh, did they test it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even get to that.
Needed to
stage.
get below 100.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just looked at mine on the trailer at scrutineering and they're like, nah, mate. I was like, like, do you want me to start it? They're like, it's not going to do anything. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
They'll probably make it worse, actually. I was like, cool. It's back at, like, yeah.
It was funny. We pulled into the scrutineering, and I don't know if you know it. It's a car called Sinner.
Oh, yeah, the red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
HT.
Previous.
Yeah,
HG.
HT, and it's
Yeah.
got like a PSI blower and everything. It's
Remember that
bloody
one?
loud.
Yeah.
I think we saw it at Summit for the first
It's
time.
like
Yeah.
quite a nice build. Like,
Yeah,
like,
Beautiful
like top
car.
60.
Beautiful.
or-
Yeah, beautiful
It
car.
was the
Yeah.
previous owner, wasn't it? It's been sold.
Yeah, young fella owned it,
Yeah.
and he drove around and went through the scrutineering, and he got knocked back. He was like, they're like, no, you're not driving it, no
And the-
way. And that's when we met the Tour Club guys, Jeff and all his mates, Mick and all that. And
They're like, nah, it's
they're
not
like,
happening.
nah.
Just
Like,
leave it in the trailer.
I started my car up in the trailer. They're like, why are you even getting it off the trailer? Like that, yours is way louder than that thing, and he just got knocked back.
Yeah.
I'm like,
We'll
you
try.
reckon? I said, I didn't drive all this way not to try. I'm going to drive around. I'm going to try. I drove out the other side with the red sticker, and they're like, what?
Yeah, so how does that work? Like, how does, That's I got heaps of messages being like, go to the wreckers, get brakes, like,
Yeah.
weld them on. I was like, nah, man,
Yeah.
you're talking way too much effort.
Well,
like, I
we've already
don't,
got-
like, I'm like, I don't care that much.
We still
like,
had the rear brakes because of him
Yeah.
with doing the power skids, and like he couldn't
Yeah.
just lock himself into I'm only a burnout car.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
wanted to be able to do power skids, as you have
It's
seen.
still got rear brakes on it now.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Just I run a Willwood really high end line locker.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Roger.
just flick the switch and the brakes are off.
that
on
way
the
he
back.
can still do
Yeah.
his power skids.
Is that the setup where it's like, car's got to be off, close the valve, turn the car on,
No,
and it's like
just
the
don't
whole
push the
system?
brake
or-
pedal.
Yeah, okay.
Don't push the brake pedal, flick
And
the
just flick
switch,
it and then it's
and then
done.
it's good to go.
Yeah,
If you
right.
push the brake pedal and flick the switch, the line pressure will be built up in the back and the brakes will lock on.
Yeah, okay, so that's what it must be then. Because I
Yeah.
remember someone telling me they're like, there's a system that you have to follow,
Yeah.
otherwise
Yeah, that's
you
right.
ruin it. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, but I couldn't remember what it was. But yeah, that must
Yeah.
be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd forget it every time. The rears are locked on, like, fuck. Drive around the paddock, just hitting the brakes, trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool.
It works really good for like even like the Dream Team stuff. I left the brakes on for that because if I come off the brakes and we're in a pretty hectic wild slide, the whole car's stopping, not just the front.
Yeah.
So it helps you control the car a lot better too.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it does actually affect, like what
100%.
event you're doing is like
Yeah,
really
yeah.
important.
And you
okay.
definitely notice the brakes like not being on, like on the pad, only having front brakes. Definitely notice not having
yeah.
backs,
I
like
get- yeah.
how the car behaves as such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just absolute free spin in the back with no brakes on.
Yeah. So you weren't like you were doing the rally stuff before that, and then we got into burnouts. It was basically just learn as you go.
Yep.
Ask people questions like you said before. Try
Yeah.
and figure like
Yep.
little
Well,
pointers
he
out.
built
and-
that beast, and like the like you built Phoenix, and you're like, what have I done?
Yeah, looking at that car, like you're going head, like
Yeah.
straight in the deep end. Like
Yeah.
you're in.
And I think it's like the last 12 months you've managed to tame the beast as such. Like you've been able to start to get some
figure it
control.
out.
Yeah.
Actually can get in it with confidence and go, let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, watching your power skid and shit, it's like holy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing I haven't even attempted yet because I'm like high speed. I'm like I'm not there yet. I'll do the slow shit and I'll figure it out. And then Kieran's like, nah, man, just go straight. I'm like, I don't know. Like, what if I get down at it and it doesn't want to go straight all of a sudden?
It
then
does get hairy down the
It
end. man.
definitely
Yeah.
does get hairy, man.
Yeah.
It-
And then like watching you, like you won the power cruise too. So
Yeah, won the power
congrats
skids,
on that
yeah,
too.
that's
Oh,
How-
no shit.
yeah.
How
Awesome.
deep? Because
Yeah.
we were talking about it that morning, the Sunday
Yeah.
morning. So how deep?
And
how
it-
deep did you go?
Oh man, I was sideways around that top corner.
Yeah.
It was hectic. Like
And
hard on the brakes, like jabbed the brakes as hard as I could without locking the wheels up. Obviously, full brakes on the
Yeah.
car, so it slowed a lot better than normal.
And then just
And just punched it around the corner to get it to keep going.
Otherwise you were
where it
going
needed-
like-
Otherwise, I was just going straight. It didn't want to. Yeah, it was.
so did you
crazy.
know you had to go far, or were you just doing it anyway? Like
I just knew I just had to go as far as I could.
yeah, okay.
well, you had a bit of a practice from the Fridays, that winging it, what is it, the power drags?
Yeah, the
Oh,
power
yeah.
drags. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that was cool too. You know, I won that too.
Yeah,
That was cool.
Oh yeah, the one that Winginit sponsored. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was I think
The
that
jump
was
of
his,
methanol.
that was his first kind of, I don't know, attempt at power skidding Phoenix properly, being comfortable.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And that's why it was like, yeah, I'm doing power cruise.
Yeah, because I
I got
remember I
this.
think it may have been that Fridays or the one after Brasham when Bubba and Jane all that were here. I think
Yeah,
Bubba-
that one.
Bubba
Yeah,
jumped
yeah,
in your
yep.
car, and I was talking to Bubba afterwards, and he's like, "Man, that thing handles like
Yeah.
fucking immaculate."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." You look at him, he's just like, doo, 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 doo. I'm like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "That's a dream boat to sit in." And I was like, "Yeah, right." So it's funny, like it shows you what other people like. They get in other cars, and they're like,
Yeah.
"This thing's."
I think it's
crazy."
from what you came from.
Yeah.
Like, you've always been street car. Like Phoenix goes in for a wheel alignment once a year.
Yeah.
at
Okay.
the-
Who
at
who,
Rankey's.
who four-wheel aligns their burnout car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
like-
but it's worth doing though.
100%, man. The thing
Yeah.
just is dead straight. If I want
Yeah.
it to go dead straight, it'll go dead
It'll
straight.
go
If
dead
I want it to
straight.
go sideways, it'll go sideways.
Yeah.
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 That's
And at least
yeah.
it's like wearing the tires at the same level as well. Too.
Yeah. No, it's good.
So what was, I guess, coming like straight into power cruise? What would be the most daunting thing to learn? I guess, like, would you say we just like jump straight in the deep and you're like, I need to figure this out? Or what was it like doing your first one where you're like, this is not what I expected? Or like,
I don't know. The first burnout I ever done, like that one where I blew the motor up, like
Yeah.
I completed that burnout,
In
had
a
a
fireball.
had a massive tire fire, and then finished the tires off, and then drove off the pad, and I looked at the oil pressure. I'm like, oh dear,
Yeah.
this is not good.
Yeah.
so yeah, we,
But like it was like I was just out there just doing a burnout. Like
Yeah,
like
okay.
I'm just
can
let the hair
definitely-
down, go for it, and just do a burnout. Like it was
Yeah.
it was cool, and I
and
was
just
like,
figure
fuck,
it out on the run
this
kind
is-
of thing.
yeah. And then but the more I done it, I was like, you know, picking up from all the pro guys, you know, it actually you're not just there to do a burnout. You actually need to cover the pad. You need
Yeah.
to go to all the corners. You need to
Consistency, mate. You got to think
Yeah.
about a plan.
Yeah.
constant revs. You know, that was a big thing that I didn't have to start with. You know, I was very on and off on the throttle. Like,
Yeah.
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 okay.
Because we've
Yeah.
got like I'm enjoying documenting Phoenix through the socials because we've got the memory of like, yeah, that was awesome, that was great, and then the memory pops up and we look at it and we're like,
wow, that was really a crap
whoa,
skid, eh?
babe.
I totally know what you mean. eh?
Like, that was shit. Like, or Matt's
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is my one from Red Saturnats, and I'm like,
Yeah, and then you
Don't
watch it
share
and you're
that,
like,
man.
that's not as good as I remember.
yeah,
it.
don't
Yeah.
share that, don't share that.
100%.
That's what, I said
Yeah.
that to Kieran the other day. I'm like, it's hard when you're in the car because you get out and you're like, I feel like that was pretty good.
yeah.
And then, yeah, like you said, you watch the video and you're like, oh, Jesus. It's not like I imagined. Or...
Yep.
And then I said to him, when I did that skid with you on the Saturday night,
Yep.
I was like, there was a time when we were, the RSM was facing the crowd and we were facing like down towards the dam. and I knew you were going on and off, on and off, on and off, and I could just see little puffs of orange, and I was like, oh my god, he's doing the big like flame thing out the back. But I'm like, I know what it looks like out the back. I was like sitting in the car, I was just like, this is it. Like I'm in heaven. Like, I was like, no one stop this. And then someone sent me a video of it from like the outside view, and I like screen recorded it and sent it to Kieran. I was like, you know exactly how I feel. Kieran's like, he's like, I know exactly what you're thinking at that moment. I was like, yeah. So it's my favorite thing of like all big blowing cars. Yeah. You watch them, you hear that whole boom, boom, and it's like
crazy how you feel like, it through the car. Right?
Yeah.
Like the whole car's just like, wow, this is insane.
Yeah, when I'm in the crowd, I can watch like a whole skid, and it gets to that last couple of seconds, I'm like, this is where the party's at. Like, this is what I came to see.
100%.
When I was sitting in, then I could see you like moving this, and I could just see that fluff like go around like the mirrors. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I was like, I know exactly what's happening. And yeah, but yeah, that's cool shit. I love that sort of stuff.
We had the first like build. Matt was very aware of, we'd never used methanol before, and as we started to watch other cars, we'd see fire. So that was like a big fear building the car. And where to put the exhaust, and Matt is still attached to genuine HSV rear bar on Phoenix.
Oh yeah, he said that. Yeah.
And he just couldn't cut it apart, so he literally cut one little bit and put the exhaust out behind the tires. But in doing that,
on each side out the like standardish style.
Exhaust
ports on the bumper.
In doing that, he like jinxed himself with the name Phoenix. It was just a consistent fireball every time.
So is that where the name come from?
No.
No. Well, I was going to ask you, like, where did you get the name Phoenix
we were throwing names out over and over again. Again, another drunken episode. And I think we got to the point of Phoenix, and we're like, we're like at the time. I know when we started to build Phoenix, our life definitely had a big shift.
Yeah.
We needed a new beginning.
Yeah.
We lost a huge group of friends. To the point we sold our house and moved suburbs. And it was fitting at the time. And Phoenix was our best mate's car.
Yeah.
And it was not a power cruise car, but it was more set up for drags. So we took it. It was pretty rough. He'd started to lose the love with the car. And then knowing that we were going to build a beast, we didn't know the level of beast. We stripped every nut, bolt, washer, bushes,
literally
like
everything. Single part of the car, stripped it down to
it went back to
a
bare shell, like literally skeleton, and that's still what we see. We see that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's as pretty as it looks now. I still picture it now with the primer up each side of it, like the whole thing's primer under it, right?
She was always meant to be
for a paint job, but it's primer.
She was always meant to be like weapon driveline and rat rod body. Like she was never meant to be that pretty, and then she ended up at the wrap shop, and she was going to be atomic blue.
Yep.
And we walked in, and
the Too Nasty.
Yeah, Too Nasty had it, that blue.
Yeah.
That was what we picked, and I don't know why we picked that, because that's not a Phoenix colour at all. And we walked into the wrap shop. And
there was actually
Brady, the rapper.
There was a VZ there that was wrapped in it.
And we both walked in and looked at it and went,
isn't that colour?
Ew.
He's like, yeah, that's the colour that you guys told me that you just wanted. I'm like,
no,
I don't think we want that.
No. And then we're like, all right, well, we're heaps lost. And we looked at Brady and we're like, if you could wrap any colour on any car, what would it be? And he's like, I don't know, but
it's a little bit expensive.
Oh, it's a bit expensive. We're like, show us. And yeah, it was Deep Space by Avery, and it was a black base, similar to what it is now. If you scroll
the
back,
original colour,
you can see.
Yeah.
And that was it. We're like, that.
Oh yes,
100%. Yeah. And
more to the point of the question, Phoenix, just new beginnings. That's
it complies to everything.
Yeah, new car, new beginnings, new everything for us.
That's why I wasn't sure if it was your first burnout Kona, or like you lost the first one, or like you burnt the first one, then like this was like that sort of thing. Or
it was literally like, we call it old life, new life, and it's literally Phoenix. Phoenix entered, and our whole world changed.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, families watched us become obsessed. I don't think Matt owns any other shirts besides Phoenix shirts.
I actually don't. Every shirt. I've got a couple of entrance shirts for events and stuff, but like I still basically wear Phoenix shirts. A work Phoenix shirt, or like shed Phoenix shirt, a mowing the lawn Phoenix shirt, a going out Phoenix shirt.
I feel like everyone's got that. Everyone's got their own stuff. Or I don't know where we were going like a while ago. I felt super weird. I was like upstairs and I was like, I messaged Kieran. I was like, not a weird question. What are you wearing to this? Like, to where we're going? And he goes,
boys do that too.
yeah. And I was sitting upstairs and I'm like, this is the fucking dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. But I was like, and my wife's like, doesn't matter if you rock up in the same shirt or not. And I was like, it doesn't, but it kind of does. So I messaged him like, what are you wearing? And he goes, pinky shirt. And I was like, rattle, not doing that. And he's like, and I had one like out on the bed being like, I wear my own merch.
Yeah.
So then I think I rocked up in like a cuddle shirt. And yeah, when I got there, I was like, I had to ask. He's like, I never thought about it. I was like, well, I did. I was like, otherwise we're both wearing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think you need to, but this day and age, like, I don't know, we started 2021, I think is when we debuted.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I like to watch and analyze things that we just all do. But merch and stuff was not a thing. Like, it was not this, like...
Back then, like, and to say back then, it was only
a couple
2.5, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
but it
really
has
wasn't a thing.
evolved so much, and I think it was before the America thing too.
Yeah.
Like it is definitely
Yeah.
like in the last 2 years, like everybody has merch, and then the last 6 months, it's everywhere. Like and that's great because you've got the little kids, you've got the like our kids are on devices all the time, and they see like they want the shirt, they want the car, they want the bits and pieces, and you know, the merch these days that people are producing are around the same price. Like, it's cheaper than a Surf brand shirt, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you support someone?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you felt about the weekend, but like neither of us had a car at Power Cruise.
Yeah.
I saw heaps of cuddle shirts. I saw heaps of pinky shirts.
How good does it make you feel?
And
eh?
you walk around, you're like, fuck, I'm not even here as an entrant, and like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like,
We're
not
in
that
yours,
none of those people know, but
cruising
like,
back, we seen a Cuddles and a pinky shirt. It was him and his missus or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, we were yelling like out the window.
Oh,
and
mate
he
was
like,
looking at us
in the
like,
car,
who
like,
the hell is
who the
that?
hell are these idiots like yelling at me? I'm like, I'm pretty sure he didn't even recognize me.
and like, if I've got stickers and stuff on me, like, I feel weird. I can't go and give them a sticker because I just look like a weirdo who's just got like pinky stickers.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't know who I am, but you're wearing my shirt. And they're like, okay. And they're like, yeah, this is a weird fucking thing. But,
Funny,
yeah.
I had the same thing where at Shepparton last year, and at Shepparton we sold a fair whack. It was a pretty successful weekend.
Yeah.
And like there was 50
crowd
odd people,
was
like crowds of people wearing Phoenix merch. And I was coming back from doing my burnout, and I was driving back down towards where we're camping, and I drove past this couple, same thing, and I was like, oh, thanks for the support, guys. And she's kind of looked at me like, who the hell are you?
What are you on about, mate?
I'm even driving.
You're driving
Phoenix.
the car.
He was driving
at
Phoenix, and she was
hell
like,
are you?
but then we kind of like we've like
Funny as
sat
well.
back and looked at it, and we're like. We had like it was an old granny came and bought a shirt because she was excited for the logo, like the big Phoenix. And she's like, it's really cool. I love it. It's like a tattoo, and she was all excited about it. I was like, oh my god, people are buying this just because of the logo or how it looks.
That's so
like,
Those little local shows, I swear they go off, man.
yeah,
Ryan.
yeah. Especially even Tamworth. Tamworth was amazing. Like we were like, oh yeah, we'll go.
Yeah.
And then the support, like Matt didn't even have Phoenix out of the trailer. Like we had to ask people to get out of the way
Jesus.
because and what the girls were back and forth like, yeah, here's a hoodie or here's a shirt, like because the girls do all the merch. So they literally I was sitting there going, it's okay, it's all right, just get them to line up and just say it's all right. But yeah, it's crazy the fan base for these cars now. It's definitely becoming like. It's not
like
a motorsport, but it bloody should be. Like, it is so close.
Nah,
It's like
it's coming. It's
yeah.
definitely coming.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
But it definitely helps. It definitely helps the entrant. Like, the more effort you put into, like when Kieran got that one made of the cuddles, and then he showed me a photo, and I was like, that's like a whole new level.
Yeah.
And then he goes, dude, it is a big investment, but you won't look back.
No.
Yeah.
And then I spoke to my wife, and she's like, 100% you're doing it. And then she said to me, why don't you put the city skyline of Brisbane in the background where we work amongst those buildings and like the bridge and everything. And I was like, oh yeah. So I messaged him and it's like, yeah, send me back the thing like a few days later. And I was like, Jesus.
That's it.
Like, it just changes your whole...
Story
and I'm sure...
bridge in the background. It looks
the Story Bridge,
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sure in a few years' time, everyone's meant to like go up again. And, and
Yeah.
like, I look back at all the variations of merch that I've had, and each one I'd be like, this is the best one ever.
Yeah.
This is the best one ever.
Yeah.
And then I got to this one, I'm like, what was I even thinking back then?
But
like
see,
that's
like-
just like where you were.
Like yours are cool because it's like a little story, and unless you know it's a burnout car, it's not a burnout car shirt. Like
Yeah.
it's literally just a
Yeah.
cool shirt. Like
Yeah.
anybody would rep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and it
what
helps.
we kind of like about ours too. You know, like the picture of the bird with the car. Like, you don't have to be into burnouts to look at that and go, "Oh, that's actually pretty cool."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
Yeah, you
I'll
can
just
wear it
I'll
as
just
like
wear
a
that
nice
just
shirt.
'cause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, from an entrant, like it's you invest into it, and then you sell. The more you sell, the more money you make, and then like it helps you get to the next one, or it helps you go to the States, or like whatever it is. Like it always
100%,
comes back into.
Well,
like,
I
helping
know there's
yourself.
been a couple of events we've nearly canned and not gone to.
Yeah.
And then we've got the little inbox for the kid or the young person. I can't wait. I haven't seen the car in real life. And
Yeah.
somehow we live on noodles for the week.
Yeah.
We go to the
And then you
burnout
get
event.
there, yeah.
Like, and you know, it's soul filling. Like,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, definitely changed. And like I said, seeing people wear your stuff, even when you're not at the event as an entrant, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is like it hits a
That's-
little bit
that's
different.
it.
We
Like,
went to like the local
Yeah.
shopping centre. I think we went out to go watch a movie or something.
Yeah.
And you had this random person walk up and high five him. And Matt wasn't wearing a Phoenix shirt once in his life. And he was like, what the hell?
How cool is that?
Yeah,
Like,
Mr. Phoenix.
Yeah.
And high-fived
Like-
me. I'm
when
like,
they know you, they don't
Yeah,
like you're
wow.
not wearing any of
Yeah.
your stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
Matt
that-
was like, oh, this is awkward.
Yeah.
He's like, I wonder how Lynchy feels. Like, woof.
Yeah,
That'd be
man, he
epic,
must
yeah.
cop it.
Yeah.
oh,
Everywhere he goes, like he steps out of his house and he's like, "Here we go." But yeah, I had that at some nights. I wasn't wearing anything that related me to the car whatsoever. I was
Yeah.
just a genuine person. I just walk around some nights.
Yeah.
Like we're going through the trade stands, and some guy walked down and was like, "Hey, can we get a photo together?"
yeah, that's epic.
And I was like, "Yeah, man. Like, you know who I am?" He's like, "Yeah, 100%." Then I was like, "In your photo, if you show anybody else, they can be like, you got a photo of some random guy." Like I wasn't wearing a pinky shirt or anything, but I was like, and my wife was like, "Oh, that was like that's like a slightly sort of elevated like level from where you were."
Yeah.
Because normally you wear your pinky shirt and they're like, "Oh, I know who you are." But yeah, that moment I was like, "Oh fuck, this is like a little bit different."
Yeah.
But yeah, it is definitely like a cool feeling for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely not something you sign up for. You just want to use your car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we talked about
comes
it
with
Power
it.
Crews, like signing inside
Signing-
shoes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shoes,
yeah.
water bottles.
Yeah.
A work boot, brand new work boot. Old mate walked up to me at Shepparton with a
Yeah.
brand new work boot out of the box. Can you sign this? The boys are going to be so jealous.
Yeah,
What?
had to sign
That's,
something.
that's weird as hell, man. But
Yeah,
sure.
Matt.
Oh,
The
true.
lady's
Yeah.
like, sign this, and Jess is like, off
yeah,
you go.
I think she was like 70, and Matt was like, save me.
That
And
was
I'm
a
like,
brush and a
enjoy.
set.
Enjoy. See you, darling. Bye.
Uh,
And he's like, you bitch.
yeah, then
It
just sit
wasn't
back and take
exactly-
a photo of it happening.
Like,
Like,
she didn't exactly say sign my boob, but like
was
that's pretty much what it
sign.
was. It's like, can you just sign here? I'm like,
And it was like you, like, save me. Come on, you're my wife, save
Yeah.
me.
she's like, no, go for
yeah,
it.
tell me this is
Bye.
tell me this is
Walk off,
out
like,
of bounds or like
thanks.
crossing a line. Yeah,
He's like, I'll get you later.
yeah, 100%. I reckon. I guarantee we'd all turn around and look at our partner, being like, "Are you about to say something?" They're like, "Nope." Like, off you go and do this. Yeah,
Yeah.
You signed
Yeah.
up for this.
yeah. You wanted fame? Here it is.
Yeah.
Sign. You're like, I didn't want this part of it. I'll do like other parts of it. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a stamp, mate, and just be like, when it comes to that part of it.
You'd need one of them by now, wouldn't you?
Yeah. No, he's got other people that learn his signature, and they just
Oh,
walk
yeah,
behind
you
and
pay
do it.
people to sign.
Yeah,
for you.
Miles.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. At Power Crews on the weekend, people like we'll walk around together, and they'd stop him and talk to him, and they're like, "Can I get a photo?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, no dramas," and they'd hand me the phone. I'm like, "The fuck am I doing?" Like, I'm not his publicist. Like,
Yeah.
but they just
You
go, "Can you do it?" And I'm like,
You know what you should
guess.
you should have just written Pinky.
"Yeah."
You know what you should
Yeah,
have
I was
done?
like-
Do what Miles does and just take selfies.
Yeah, I was going to say, reverse the camera.
Yeah, I didn't expect it the first time. So I was like, "Oh yeah," and like I took a couple for it. I was like, there you go. And then we kept walking. Then it happened again. I'm like, I need to not walk around with you. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, or you stop to have a conversation. I'm like, so you got a meeting in 2 minutes? We need to keep going. I'm not your manager.
Get your
You're
clipboard out.
Yeah.
Like, mate, run away.
yeah. I'm walking
You're
around
running
like,
behind
what? Yeah.
schedule, Kieran.
Yeah, I was like, I have a burnout car too, guys. I was like, Jesus Christ. So I did want to ask, actually, the favourite event on like the calendar, I guess, like or the favourite event you've been to so far.
We need to narrow that down. In what way?
Yeah.
Like just okay, so burnout comp or like more than a burnout comp.
Okay.
If you've got two different
I can
answers,
give you both.
Yeah, okay. Because we've always just asked you like
If
favourite
you could
event,
only
but-
do one in the year, you would just for whatever reason you had to pick one.
Well, we are.
That makes it hard.
Yeah, because we're a very family orientated burnout car.
yes,
So that's why the
obviously,
question's there.
I think the pinnacle of the events, even over summer nats, I'd have to say is Brash Nats.
Yeah.
But the one that I really look forward to
Every
every
year.
year is Bathurst Auto Fest.
yeah, okay.
Like that event is
Yeah.
so good. Like it honestly, it's just you
not
get
on
to,
it's not on the Summer Nights calendar, but as a family and as an entrant that is learning and networking and getting to know people and yearning for that information,
Yeah.
it's our event.
Yeah, right. 'Cause that's one that I was talking to someone the other day, and they're like, "You need to do."
yeah,
And the
it
big
is such a
reason-
good event.
And why is the reason?
At the end of the day, like everyone does their skids, everyone has a ball in their car all day, and then at the end of the day, come like 6 o'clock,
It ends.
the event just stops, and then it's like party time.
Yeah,
You get a chance to actually catch up, mingle.
the switch flicks,
Talk-
and there's not.
So you
all-
got hours in the night.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
you're skidding till 9:30,
You're not-
10:30 at
That's,
night.
Yeah.
that's right.
It's
And
6
then
o'clock, and it's like,
yeah, it's 10:30.
Right.
Everyone's like finishes their skid and goes,
yeah,
I'm
that's
kind
a good point.
I'm kind of done.
Yeah.
That's a good
You
point.
know,
Like Power Cruise is
where-
awesome, but it's like 6 a.m. to 1 a.m.
yeah.
maybe,
Yeah,
and you flogged after 3
I
days.
was gonna say like 4 a.m. I think we
Yeah,
clocked
yeah.
on Saturday
Yeah,
morning.
Yeah, like 3 or 4.
yeah.
4 a.m. I'm like,
there was some late nights, man.
Yeah.
At Power Cruise, there was some late
yeah.
nights.
I went to
But-
bed at 4 and woke up
Yeah.
at 6:30, and I was like, this is not sustainable at all.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But-
Bathurst
yeah.
is like it's on the mountain, so that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Phoenix
And it's
has done-
camping there, obviously.
Yeah.
It's camping there. It's cool. You're with all the guys. You know, you can mingle. Like I take my golf cart there, and we
Yeah.
just cruise
Yeah.
around and
Yeah.
just go to everyone's camp through the night.
The,
Golf
pad,
carts
the
and the
pad's a
move. Yeah.
big concave as well, so it teaches to
It
really...
looks like that. Hey, like it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
not just
four
like
ways.
There's
Yeah,
like
right.
it's like a full concave with a hump in the middle. You know what I mean? Like
So
True.
if you
so
stuff up,
if
you're
you tip
stuck
in
in the
too
corner.
hard, you go backwards down into the wall. Or,
Yeah.
And as you're trying to correct it, like you're always coming over the
Oh,
hill as
yeah.
such.
Yeah,
Every
Yep.
direction you're going.
So you got to think about it, or
Yeah.
yeah.
you got to plan
And
it.
you can't
gotta
just
plan
like
it.
go to the corner and go, I'm just going to go to that corner now because the car's going to be
Yeah, if
drifting
you're trying to
get in that
drive
corner.
straight across it,
Yeah.
you're
It's just
gonna
gonna
your
start
ass gonna
drift-
kick
yeah,
out.
Yeah.
But it's also massive, like all the Autofest event. The pads are massive, so for someone learning,
Pretty hard to stuff up.
yeah,
If you're
Ah,
stuffing
yeah.
up at Autofest, you're
Yeah, you've done something.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And then it's like, yeah, the is it power skids down the straight? Or
Oh,
is
yeah,
it like,
they-
is it like
they-
kind of
They
like
don't
a
racing?
actually
rolling-
have a power skid
it's
comp,
like-
Okay.
but
Yeah.
they
So it
allow
was like supposed to be racing.
It's actually supposed
They-
to be
they don't
racing.
allow it,
It's,
just,
roll racing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just ends up being.
Eighth mile
They-
roll
Oh,
racing.
Oh look, I
Sprint.
lost traction
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Because every video I've
Oops.
watched, there's like
they
like
call
came
it.
came with death wish
Yeah.
and shit. Just like
Yeah,
power skids
yeah.
the
Well, they
whole thing. And
call
I'm
it-
like, that's cool.
They call it super sprints.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's
Super
literally like,
skids.
it's,
go.
yeah, that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
every burnout car's doing that.
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah. 'cause
Speaking
it-
of, just quickly, how much power does Phoenix make?
yeah, ish.
Feels like it makes a lot.
It's never been on a hub dyno.
It's actually never been on a dyno in general, but
Yeah.
it made the engine made 1276 horsepower at the flywheel on the engine dyno.
Yeah, that's
okay.
crazy.
So
It was
Yeah, take-
1800
I'd say
newton meters.
about 1,000 at the wheels.
Yeah.
roughly.
How many
Yeah.
newton meters?
1807.
Just under
I think
1800 it was
No,
at the
it was
wheels.
just over.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
1807.
You know when you get in,
Yeah.
like you stick it in again, it's just like bang.
Yeah, it'd
Oh,
be
you're
nice
like-
to get it on a hub dyno.
You can just tell sitting in it, like,
Oh yeah.
when you took me out on the demo skids, I thought, man, the thing just must be a breeze to drive, like
Oh,
Just-
it's effortless.
just
effortless.
on tap,
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
Oh yeah,
It
you
is.
just stand on it and it just goes. Like,
Yeah, it just does
yeah.
what you want.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I want top full revs, wheel speed right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's comfortable. Like
Yeah.
it's nice inside.
It's really
Like,
nice.
It's
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, like
he's
it's-
always he's I think that's his biggest issue is he's always had fancy, on point, nice cars, good paint jobs, good interior. Like the girls will get the cranks all the time. Like everything, like the Rams out there dirty at the moment, but it's doing his head in. He washes the trailer before every event. Everything is pristine, tire shined, pretty.
Yeah.
Like he's
it's
first
good.
4 on,
Gotta keep
4
it
off.
nice.
Yeah.
Spent so much money on it. You may as well look after it.
Yeah, like he's 4 on, 4 off, and the first day that he's off is washes the 3 things.
Wash
like,
everything.
off and the other car.
Yeah.
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 It's good to have like that sort of system, I guess, and then it
Yeah.
always looks good, and you know it's always clean, so you're like, yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And roll it out of the trailer, whatever. The trailer's clean too, like
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I think that Phoenix will always be that like almost pushing the border.
It
show,
was
show and
actually
shine
funny
car.
on Saturday night at Power Cruise. It was probably close to. I didn't realize it was close to midnight, but I was like, let's just go put Phoenix on the fucking rollers at Power Cruise, like see if they're still open. But old mate had gone to sleep. He was in his swag. He'd already gone to bed. I was like,
Yeah.
spewing.
I think
that
Brasher
would've
did
been
that.
cool.
Didn't
Brasher did that last year.
Yeah, like 1 a.m. or some shit.
Man,
Like,
I swear.
and then after
year-
that, it's been like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Last year, it was crazy, man. The
Yeah.
vibes in the pits on the Saturday night when Brasher got on there, because Hinchy was up there, I was up there. Like, there was like a crowd of people in the cell just all trying to video and shit. It made like, what, 500, 600, whatever. Like,
680, I think.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
600 and something.
Yeah.
And like, it was like midnight. Whereas this year, you go there at midnight, it was like,
Everyone was in bed.
bugger all
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know, it was social, but it was very groupy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone was
it
very
was actually.
cliquey in their
Yeah.
groups. Like it was
Yeah.
a weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've never really done.
Still had heaps of fun.
Yeah.
It was just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not
We-
the normal vibe.
Wasn't the
that you get.
nightlife wasn't
Yeah,
there this time? I don't know
100%.
Yeah.
why. Like on track and stuff, it was awesome during the
Yeah.
day. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
plenty of people there and stuff.
Maybe it's the
spectators,
sun taking it. I don't know. There was hot days, but
but- yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
like this is our second time we've done Power Cruise in Queensland, so we
Yeah.
didn't even have anything to compare it with either.
Yeah, yeah.
But we like in the February one, I think it was Power Play or whatever it was. We were
No,
with
it was a Power Cruise. For some reason, it was a big one, but like there was a
2-day.
Oh,
the
yeah.
2-day one in
Yeah,
February.
but we were with the
Yeah.
North Queensland boys, so that's no
It was a
sleep.
big night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
You're not sleeping when they're around.
No.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's always a party too, and you always have fun and everyone's smiling and like,
Yeah.
100%. So if you could skid anybody else's car within the scene, what car and where
We're
would
actually
you
only talking
Yeah.
about this today, weren't we?
where
Yeah,
would
you-
you, and where would you skid it to? Like
Something
Ooh.
you
So-
went something different
Like-
than what
Yeah,
you're
the car and
used
then
to.
the event.
Because I've got a big car, like a
Yeah.
Commodore's a big car. I think it'd be cool to do something like Lynchy's Corolla or
Yep.
Brash's car, you know, like something that's small and
Swifty.
agile. Or
Like-
Swifty
Oh,
would
yeah.
be cool.
Big power, little car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like something that's small, I reckon it'd be cool to have a go of just
Yeah.
to
Get
you
that
got such
feel.
because you got such a
Yeah.
big car. Yeah.
yeah,
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
our big cars just don't whip around like theirs do. Like as much
Yeah.
as we can try to do it, it just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I reckon it'd be epic to have a go at a little car.
Yeah. Yeah, Lynch's would definitely be
location?
fun. Yeah. Yeah, is there like a pad that you'd like?
Favorite pad, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was
Like, would you put a little
disgusting.
car in a tight spot, or would you go little car, big pad?
Well, today it was
I
discussing
guess.
like the spring nuts pad because it is long and huge. It's like your American pads that you're
Yeah.
doing. So if you're in that little car, you could
could
potentially
go.
try the
Yeah,
Lynchy
yeah.
dip in
Yeah.
and
You
just
You
do
could do
the
a
5 or
1080
6.
kind of thing, and no dramas, and you're still not anywhere near the back wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, it's like, do you put that little car on a huge pad and just have
Yeah.
absolute ball?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I think you'd have more
And then-
fun in that because you're not quite
Rather
there
than trying
with
to
the,
precision drive it. I think
Yeah.
the little cars would be harder to precision drive than a bigger car.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
'Cause the bigger cars just behave
it'd whip
better.
quicker for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chase-
You always see him try and steer, and then it just goes. "Whoa," and you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh."
Was that Tiny Towing was saying that he's always chasing his ass, like it's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
flicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is
That thing's epic, eh?
fucked.
It's
Yeah.
unreal. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the wildest thing I've been in to date. Like it. Yeah.
Just to sit in it, eh? Like I don't know if you
Yeah,
I've seen the
yeah,
photo
yeah,
of you
no.
in it, but
Yeah.
Sat in it, yeah.
like just to sit in it, it's so small. It's,
yeah, and then like that's why he had like those things in the roof so his head
Yeah,
could
so
sit
you've got
out.
room
It's
for your
like-
helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's sitting like above everything. And you're like, man, this is, and he's not a small guy. He's
Yeah,
No,
he's a big
that's
dude,
right,
too.
so
yeah,
tight.
he's
You look at
tall.
him and you look
Yeah.
at it and you're like, what are you? Why, man? Go and blast it down like everyone
So
else. Like,
cool.
what are you doing? But yeah, that thing it's hectic. And then
Yeah.
you watch it from like the spectator's side, and you'll always see that front end just get thrown. Like, once the arse end
It
catches
actually
up,
even
like-
lifts a wheel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's epic.
Yeah, I think you were saying like one tire on the front wears quicker than the other one because it's always like in the air. And the other one's getting like shoved in the ground. You're like, that doesn't make like okay, but that's crazy. So yeah, I guess what's your favorite pad to skid on?
At the moment.
So Brushinats, like, is that the hype and like the whole day?
Probably. Yeah.
I think
speed indicator there as well on the
that's pretty cool. You got the tipping and speed indicator and stuff.
That is a G up for
Yeah, 100%.
I think from all the events when he comes off the pad, like to see him, it's Sydney Dragway pad is like the Thursday Thrashers was probably your most epic one. We just had a date night. We didn't have the kids, so we did skids.
The stuff had really happened, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, Thursdays is on."
I bought you a ticket.
We got you a ticket for this. Let's
yeah.
do it.
Kind of set my own date night up.
Yeah.
Thanks,
You're like, I want to do this. Yeah. Tag along.
But yeah, like I don't know, your face. Besides last brush and nuts, you just got lost in the smoke.
Yeah.
So
Which is easily done.
we got a ticket for the showdown in October.
Yep.
So pretty keen for that one. He's going to go no color tires this time. And
Yeah.
try it with no color tires.
Yeah.
Keith's
It definitely makes a difference.
It will make a big difference.
Yeah.
It won't push you as much.
Yeah.
Those coloured smokes, like it's the biggest thing I learnt over in the US because before I wasn't really paying attention to tyre pressure or even the difference in grip, and the amount that it affects your steering is massive.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it. Like, I don't know why, but I just never thought about it.
100%.
It's a huge difference.
Yeah.
I think we're it's still new. We've been chasing the photos. Like we're getting epic photos, and that contrast is awesome.
Yeah.
So he's excited for the second Brushinats to just go and have fun this time.
Yeah.
Like
It's guaranteed 2 skids too, so that's epic.
But you can see it in his skill has improved. It's improved enough now that we have a dry sump sitting on our doorstep at home. Like he's at that point. You need the dry sump, and now she'll actually start to play.
Yeah, I'll be able to start really whipping it hard.
Yeah.
Like, I actually don't know if you noticed, but I'll like during the demos and stuff at Power Cruise, I basically had my eyes on the oil pressure gauge the entire time, tipping in so hard. Like I was doing 80, 90 k's an hour on some of them tip-ins.
Yeah. So you're just watching if it was
just waiting for the oil surge to come off the pedal so I could try and not have an oil moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Phoenix has
they
been
do it with
like,
when you're doing hectic tip-ins like that with wet sump still.
Yep.
So.
But Phoenix throughout the entire build last few years, it's definitely like a gut feeling. Like we both get it, and we're at that point. Like every time something goes wrong, we've nearly picked it. Like it's
So
You
dry
like
sump
the-
time.
dry sumps there.
Yeah.
Like we were actually petrified of this event. We thought it would go this event.
Yeah, but the sucky thing is, like, although as Jess said, like it's, I had our neighbours drag it inside the front door a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
But I won't have a chance to fit it till after the showdown because we go to Wagga, which will be a first time for us for the
Brushinats.
Yeah.
that's in
That'd be a
like
party.
2 or 3
weeks.
weeks.
Yeah. So by the time we
then-
get home from this holiday, he goes back to work for four shifts, and then we unload and then put it on the hoist, check it all over again, load up and go.
Reload and go straight away to Thrash Nuts, and then it's 2 weeks after that is the showdown.
Yeah.
So I don't get a chance to pull the motor out to do the dry sump.
Yeah.
But then after the showdown, we've got nothing planned till Summer Nuts. So we'll be 100% ready to party by Summer Nuts.
So you're gonna do those 2 events and be like,
Yeah.
Although,
like just please not now.
although
But they're just
he
skids
says
and-
this, I can guarantee we've got some late nights ahead of us, and it will happen.
Yeah, you
Like,
get home,
he
you'll
will-
see it, you'll look like you open up
He'll
the
get
box.
excited. It comes out of the box.
Motors,
Yeah.
a couple of hours. We'll get it out.
Yeah.
And then we'll be off to pit crew to get all the parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
As soon as you open up, look at him like, ow.
This is happening.
Yeah, like, this is happening. Yeah.
It's like it's good. Like we've committed to that, but it's the unknown of the fittings and the hoses and all the bits that go with it
Like,
that
you
we're
cha-
like,
you change everything up.
Yeah.
oh,
And then you don't want to get stuck and then like halfway through or do like,
Yeah.
pull that shit off, go back to what you'd, like it's
yeah,
a big,
nah. It'd just
kinda
be
go-
late nights.
yeah, kind of know you can get it done, but like if you start it and then you'll be
Yeah.
sweet.
Well,
I
it'd be
reckon
good.
you'll get it before showdown.
Yeah.
In,
You're already like,
Yeah, it'll
I already
happen.
kind of got it planned in my head.
When we're sitting there going, what do we do today? Matt would be like, coffee, shed, let's go. Yeah.
4 days off, 3 days straight, nearly no sleep. I'll get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, then relax and then go back to work.
Yep.
Go back to work for a holiday. Which
Yeah,
is,
he does,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
He does like
It's-
10
yeah.
to 12,000 steps at home on his days off. Because
A day.
we're on just over an acre, so all
Just
that
walking
crap.
backwards and forwards from the house to get beers. Like,
To the shed.
nah, I do have a big fridge up the shed. So
And then, yeah, and then you go back to work and you do like 1,100 steps with your computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the same. I always tell people, like, I'm back here for a holiday. Like, I have big days off. They're like,
Yeah.
okay. What were you going to ask?
Oh no,
Go on.
it's just bullshit.
Okay.
I was gonna say when you're doing a dry sump kit, you're talking about the fittings and stuff. You can get one of those mobile vans with all the fittings and the line
Yep.
and the cutters and shit, and then you can just like fit everything up, and then you can, pardon me, like have a bit of a play with how you want to route everything.
Well,
And
we
they've got everything in
used
the van.
we used garden hose. That's how we did the
Literally
plumbing
just-
last
Oh, to
time.
map it out.
yeah,
Yep.
just bought some garden
Yeah,
hoses.
it was perfect. You walk in with all this
That's
garden
actually a
hose.
good idea.
$20
And
for the garden. It's like spot on,
Yeah,
perfect for a -6 and a -8 fitting
you just
to use a
Like,
garden
it
hose.
makes sense.
you just
And you can
tape
actually
each
use
one
your
with
fit,
the
like plug it
what
onto
you
the end of
need.
your fitting, screw your fitting in, zip tie the hose to the end of your fitting. It fits perfect. Like I had millimeters of wastage
Yeah,
on
when we
my
plumbed up
braided
Phoenix.
hose.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
'cause
it's
it costs
good.
so
Go-
much.
just go into
You-
Bunnings and be like-
you buy it by the 100 mil.
Yeah.
your braided hose. So
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have maybe 100 mil waste in what I've done in the car so far is pretty epic.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
But this time it will be replacing the hose on the house because it's
Yeah.
getting a bit shit. So.
Yeah, so I'm just going to take the one off the house this time.
Just rotating the house. hose, yeah. It gets brittle in the sun. You're like, all right, well, we're going to use it.
Oh, Phoenix these hoses. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it moves
Of
the
using
same,
that.
it bends
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah. Because I think
And
like
yeah,
some
you
people
could-
use like string and stuff, but
Nah.
then it's
Yeah.
not gonna like string could
It doesn't
sort of go
hold
like
the flex.
And the
like-
hose
Yeah.
doesn't bend well, especially old brittle hose. Like it kind of acts like a
braided line.
braided
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Is that something you used just thought of and or did you
it
see it
was-
somewhere?
no,
Or?
the
Pit
guy,
crew.
the guy that
Yeah.
sells us all the fittings, Pit Crew Auto Parts in Beresfield up in Newcastle. He
He
got us onto it. He's like, oh no,
Do this.
use garden hose, man.
And we laughed at him, and then we came back with the hose, and he's like, "Told you."
Yeah, just give him all this
Yeah.
Yeah.
cut hose and be like, I
Yeah.
want all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so did he make them basically two sides or did
Yeah.
he like a little bit extra?
Yeah,
or-
I
Yeah.
cut the hoses to exactly
size,
what I
what
wanted,
you
and then
needed.
just handed him over. I said, I just want that. He's
We-
like, yep, sweet.
We had no idea how
That's
to
really
fit
good.
all the olives and all that, and Matt was like mucking around with it. And then next minute, I'm like, "Here, YouTube, found the video. This is how we do it." Like Phoenix, Matt's done everything at home. The only thing he's qualified in is upholstery, like we were talking about. But
Yeah. Yeah, I
we
think a
didn't
pink, I
know
think a
it.
pink car might be at your house when you get there too.
If we didn't know how to do it,
Just a couple of
something.
seats, all right?
Just deck out the Kirkies.
yeah, yeah.
Put some foam in them, please.
If we didn't know how to do something, it was literally like get a coffee, get a beer, whatever, sit and watch the YouTube channel. Right, let's
Yeah.
go. We can do
You can
this.
figure everything out on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Like,
so good.
yeah.
We always joke it's
Everything.
the YouTube car without being funded. Like, we literally, like
Yeah.
you can discover or learn anything.
Yeah, man, I've watched YouTube just to like watch skids. Like,
Yeah.
like I've watched Rick Fuller like nut the entry at Summernats like 100 times a night shift,
Yeah,
and then come home and be like, I'm doing this.
I'm doing that.
I'm gonna
My
do
wife's
it.
like, sure. I'm like, he's got a VK, he did it.
Yeah,
I know a VK will fit. I'm fucking giving it a go. Then it worked.
There's proof it did it.
Yeah, it worked, and I made a comment. I made a post afterwards, being like, I went all the way to Summernats just to do this, and Rick commented on being like, yeah, I knew it would fit, and I was like, dude, I watched your shit for like your views are doing this, like when I'm on night shift, because I'm just watching
it's
you.
funny
do
you
shit.
say that. Hey, you tend to watch the cars that are the same as your own. Like,
Yeah.
I've watched,
Yeah.
Too Nasty and Blown VY and all that. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're like, oh look, he just done that.
Yeah.
I'll give that a go. I'll
Yeah,
do
because
that.
you watch him get close to a corner, and you're like, oh, it'll fit there. Like I know
Yeah.
it'll fit there.
Yeah,
Before, like,
guinea
if,
pigs.
if Rick did, if Rick didn't do that in LS1, I don't think I ever would have given it a go.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, well, when you're there, you're like, there's a wall there, there's a wall there. Is my car all of a sudden a limo? And then I watched him do it, and I'm like, oh, he just moved to the right a little bit, swung it around,
Yep.
off he went.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm like,
Well,
I know a VK can fit in there.
Yeah,
That's the
100%.
same. You probably do the same. We go home, we watch every burnout again twice at least, and then you watch yours about 5 times, and we pick the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Pick the
Like-
crap out of my own burnout to figure out what I can do better.
Or
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
comes off the pad, and I'm like, this, and this, and he's
Yeah.
like, oh, it felt good. And then he watches, he's like, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
all
It's funny that there are
It
some
sucked.
there are some that in the moment you're like, this is going bad.
It's just
like,
the-
this is shit.
yeah.
And you're like, I can't fix it. I'm just going to have to write it out
Yeah.
and I'll correct it next time. Or there are other ones where, like my Summernats one, by the time I got back to camp, I got out and I was like, that felt like that's the best one I've ever done.
Yeah.
Like you could sort of tell the difference.
Yeah.
But when you're in the moment, you're like, I don't remember much of them. Because I'm like, I think I'm concentrating on like what I've got to do.
His Summernats, the final Summernat skid, I got emotional filming it. I was like, it's that good.
Yeah.
I was like standing on the hill. I was like, oh god. The second tip in, I was just like, man.
Because I
Epic.
had Ryan in the car, and I was like, I've always been like very on the brake, just slow, get
Yep.
heaps of smoke, and because nowhere does it say like you need to be fast.
Yeah.
No, well, Summernats want nice and smooth.
Yeah, and Ryan's
slow.
like,
Yeah.
if you go slow, I'm going to rowboat you out the window. And I was like, not in front of fucking
That many
20,000 people
people.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And I started, I hit top gear, and I said to him, I was like, just give me like 5 meters to get the smoke going, and then I'll nut up and get off the brake.
Yeah.
And then so I started, hit top gear, and I moved like a couple of meters, and at my peripheral, I watched him just do this, and he got like 2 in, and I was just like, see ya, like put off the brake, and I was just like, I hope it goes straight because we're fucking going this way. And then
Well,
like
it's your
now,
fault.
yeah, but now that I know that it can do it and it will do it, I'm like, oh, now it's like the confidence goes a little bit. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the car will react.
Yeah.
The way that everyone tells you like it'll do what you think it's going to do.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, but what if it doesn't? And I'm at Summernats and there's just concrete everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write my car off. So now that it did it, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So next time I'll probably I'll try harder and but yeah. But yeah,
Well,
I watched the video back from the outside and I'm like, oh, that little fucker, he did rowboat me. Like next time you're not going to get a chance to do that. Like,
Yeah.
Well, you guys have got so much more pressure than what you've ever had. Like, every person's there. Like, they're not living in the moment anymore. They're living through the screen. Like, they are all filming. So,
Yeah.
I can understand that pressure because you guys can't just go out there and have fun anymore because you know that there's every angle, like 360 view
yeah.
of you hitting that wall if you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you watch seeing
And
someone
it's going
like
to get plastered on every social media
Yeah.
channel.
and everyone wants to see a crash or like
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
go wrong. Like, you know, you watch any brand outcome, like something catches fire. Everyone's like, the excitement just goes through the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or there's a crash and everyone's like, oh shit, because you understand like what happens. But yeah, you watch, as soon as it starts, everyone's phone just goes straight up and they're like,
Yeah.
fucking, you know, if it's someone like decent or like, yeah, someone
Well,
that
it's
you
the
know is going to
same-
be crazy.
With
Yeah.
Lynchy crashing over, like, in America, like, we had, like, random people inbox us, like, oh, did you see Lynchy's crash? And I'm like, yeah, the best of the best still do. Like,
Yeah.
we can't see, like, the spectators or, like, the followers expect that
Yeah.
every skid's a good one and it's perfect because you've done it once before.
Yeah. And over there too, like it was also like the pad
Yeah.
cleanup. Like there's
Yeah.
a lot of like
Yeah.
you see that the kitty litter shit on the ground. Like
Yeah,
that's
and
not
like
slippery.
you were saying with they don't sweep, like, a lot of the pads, you've got all that rubber that's
yeah,
going to
push
catch
to
on
the outside
fire.
of the
Yeah.
wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like yeah, there's heaps of pads where they'll just push it to the corner or like up against the wall, and a big methanol car will come along.
Yeah.
You need one spark, and that methanol or like the tire dust flicks up, and then you got methanol as well, and then it's
Firewall.
Yeah.
like yeah. There are so many you see where there's a concrete wall, like you're like, I'm just waiting for a fire to start. Like it's going to
Yeah,
happen,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
100%. But, and yeah, that's just all, like I guess promoter or like how the events run, how much time they
Yeah.
got to clean up. You watch like Brashinats, that Bobcat is going all the time.
Yeah.
100%.
Like as many people as they can get the exact same pad as everybody else
Yeah.
has.
It,
Like,
it
can-
was
you
actually
can-
at Brashnats this year. I got really close to the wall, and the car, although I lifted the foot completely off the brake, how it came into the wall backwards, it just sat there.
You're waiting for
And
the
it was
fire.
going, I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm going to have a massive tyre fire now because it's just not going. I'm just pumping the accelerator.
oh yeah, but that's
Like,
hitting the
trying to,
wall
like,
and like,
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
pumping, but like I was just feathering on and off the throttle trying to get the car to move in a forward direction to
Yeah.
get it away from the wall. And it was just, yeah, it didn't happen because the
Yeah.
pad was clean.
Yeah.
All
Well, you
that-
can
yeah.
tell the
Yeah.
events that are run by entrance.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
they are
Yeah.
awesome.
I think that's why Brash has got such like
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
like hold it so high.
And
Yeah,
it's
so he
all
runs
and it's
a
all about the
smooth event.
entrance.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about the money. It's about the entrance
Yeah.
and making sure they've got a good time. And then the spectators, they're there, they're great. But
Yeah.
it's to make sure that we all
Yeah,
have a
and
good
if someone
time.
oils like the pad or whatever, he's like, give us 5 minutes. I think it happened right before Ryan and I went out. They're
Yeah,
like,
it did.
we'll be 5 minutes, we'll clean the pad, man,
Yeah.
and like, you know, we'll be back up and running. It's like, yeah, sweet. Because you're sitting in line and you're watching whatever happen. You're like, now I can't hit that area because
Yeah.
it's either water or oil or whatever.
Yeah,
But you're
yep.
like, and then in your head, it's like, stay away from that part. You're like, I can't.
And it's an extra
control that.
stress.
Yeah, and then
Oh.
but then when they go, oh, the bobcat's coming out, we're going to clean it. You're like, oh, sweet. Now I don't have to worry about that bit. Like,
Admittedly, there was no walls and there was no oil or water or anything on Saturday night. But what did I say when we're driving onto the pad on Saturday night? Like, wow, how dirty is this pad?
oh
Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
there was.
disgusting.
yeah.
Rubber
Like,
everywhere. Well, when
We
you
talked
take-
about that.
so bad.
Yeah, we talked about that before we started this. It was like I remember Cameron in the wild one. There's a video of him skidding from the outside, and you can see the front of his car lifting up because he's driving over chunks of rubber.
Yeah.
It's like
Well-
that shouldn't be a thing.
Well,
Yeah.
you coming off the pad, you had like, it was probably 2 meters worth of wire. Like it was a
Yeah.
full band up the side of Phoenix, like, and it was massively like
Yeah,
Off the front wheel.
off
Yeah.
the front
Off the
wheel.
front
Yeah.
wheel.
and you
Yeah.
can look across it and just be like, there is literally
Yeah.
shit everywhere. But
Yeah.
I didn't see one person walk out on that pad and clean it.
No.
Like I don't know if it did happen or not. I just
Yeah,
didn't see
I
it.
don't
but
know either.
Yeah.
I hope it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, because then if that one of those things like a chunk gets stuck in the front tire doesn't turn or something, like it messes your whole thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're driving out, like you said, when you're driving out there and it's everywhere,
Yeah.
you're like it's a minefield out here. Like,
Yeah.
I can't go there. I can't go there. I can't.
Yeah.
I'll just sit in the middle.
Well,
or-
I'll just go for it and whatever
Yeah.
happens.
Worry about
happens.
later.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does. Yeah, it is pretty shit to say.
Well,
isn't
he
it?
gets paranoid with the whole thing because the, poor adult decisions with our wrap. Our wrap is one of 10 rolls in the world. Like, so when them front wheels are loaded up with wire and just rocks, anything, it shoots up into the guard. And then we end up, because it's colour flow, you end up with it highlights all them little stone chips and stuff from the inside of the
Oh, it
guard.
like pushes out.
Yeah, so you'll have like the blue and the purple, and you'll just have this greeny bronze spot just there. Like,
Yeah.
so it drives him nuts because he's like, oh, my wrap. And we can't just replace it. But
Yeah. I reckon
Yeah.
you guys would notice that way more than like
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, it would be nice just to have kept it as the rat rod.
do like a
Oh, well.
Phoenix rat rod version or
But
something.
I don't think we can get away from that now. I think Phoenix is
Yeah.
the multicolored Commodore.
You
is what we
like
call
put
it.
yourself in a like
Yeah.
in a pocket
Yeah.
and you're like, this
Yeah.
is it
Yeah.
forever.
If
Or
we
you
ever change the colour,
change
it's
the
going to
plates
have to
and-
be something.
Yeah, we've got to level it
More
up.
epic.
Like
Yeah.
it took me
It's
18. It took me 18 months to get hold of that roll. And then at Power Cruise, I think I've managed to get hold of the last 17 meters in the world. So
And how much does it take to wrap the car?
it was
well, it was-
16 meters.
No, it was. We bought the original roll was 21 meters, and then we've got 2 meters left.
Yeah, so we've got
Fuck, so you have
So
like
it was
19 meters.
19
roughly.
meters. So we've nearly got a full car's worth of wrap, which is great because we could side swap the whole side of the car kind of thing
No.
now. Not that we want to do any of that kind of stuff, but you could have
it would
you
take
could-
that.
you
It
could
takes that
almost wrap
extra
the whole-
you could have
pressure off.
Yeah.
a somewhat monumental stuff up,
Yeah.
and it would be okay. I wouldn't have to color change the whole car.
Well, that was Summer Nuts who
Yeah.
debuted the new wrap and went out, and that was like just tipped and then just stopped in the middle of the pad because he was like, I can't wreck this on the first skid, or Brady will kill me.
Yes, the first skid with the new color. I'm
Yeah.
like, ugh, I just can't wreck it.
Yeah, and then
Really?
I genuinely don't know where
It
I
just-
am,
it-
so I'm just going to stop. Jess is like, no, we're in the middle of the pad. I'm like, are you 100%? She goes, I'm 99%. Are you 100%?
Yeah,
She's like,
okay.
I'm 99%. And then the smoke cleared. I'm like, damn it, she was right. We're in the middle of the pad.
Yeah. But it's a big thing. Yeah. Like, 'cause in your head, you're like, I know I can drive this way and I'll be fine.
Yep.
But then because you can't see it, your head's like, are you sure?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I know the pad key's going this way. But then you have like this argument in like a second. This is
Yep.
all going through your head. And you're like, nah, man, off the brake, go there. You'll be fine. And the other part of he's like,
so now that I've got hold of this wrap, he's got no excuses.
yeah.
Yeah,
Send it.
So yeah, remember that next summer nats when Matt's like, bang, that's fine.
yeah. Well, his best mate
goes
is
2 meters.
always
Yeah.
his best mate's always into him. Get off the brake. Get
Yeah.
off the brake.
Yeah.
So many people say that to you, but like it's different. Like it's
different.
hard.
It is.
It's
damn
your and it's
hard.
your car too. I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't. Where's your skid car? Like I
Yeah.
don't have one. Like exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I was not bad for it, but I was on the brake the entire time until the confidence got like slightly higher
Yeah.
and higher and higher.
Yeah. Well,
But,
it
yeah.
started
And
to-
Summonus is a pretty small pad too, compared
Yeah.
to most. Like it actually is pretty big once you're out there,
Yeah,
but it is a lot
it's
smaller
intimidating
Yeah.
visually.
than most.
everyone's there
Yeah.
watching you. Like
Yeah.
it's like the pinnacle of like the sport, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
It's the grand final.
it is very intimidating. And then you have someone that just gives that little nudge at the start, like you better not be a little bitch. And you're like, you're like, all right. And then that's why,
100%.
yeah, like sometimes like you grab, like if I'm in the back seat, I'll grab the driver and just shake them and be like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like you see them getting, but you don't know if they need that or if they just want to be like, leave me alone.
I always try
let
and
me
jam
calm.
myself up as well.
Yeah.
Like I did when we were in the car, like
Yeah.
on the weekend. I'm like, let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, always try and
Yeah,
just,
like knuckles and
yeah, like, let's just do it. Let's
Yeah.
fucking send it.
Yeah.
Jam myself up. Yeah, we're about to go rods out of here. Like, hopefully not, but
yeah. And I'm like, fuck yeah, not my car.
whatever. It's in the hands of the gods for this minute and a half coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's rods and rims. It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
yeah.
Definitely in the hands of the gods for the next couple of minutes.
There's old videos of like the old blue VL, like just watching that, and there's like a carload of them, and
Yeah.
they're all in there just shaking the fuck out of every seat, and they're yelling at each other,
Yeah.
and it's going like the fucking fattest kid ever, like
Yeah.
a full carload too, which is different again. Be like that's the party inside the car.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like that's the big G up. So you're like, I want that sort of shit. Like, let's
Yeah.
get excited.
Yeah.
Which Northern Nats was like that. I'd mates in the back seat just screaming at me.
That'd
Like,
be
Yeah,
epic.
we've
I've never
heard
done
that.
it. I've never done a skid with a full carload. I reckon
Yeah.
that'd be epic.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
I'd love to do one.
Oh, same.
Yeah,
Same.
the right people in there, and the people that just like G the crowd up as well,
Yep,
and then also
100%.
you as well, and like they're in there screaming, everyone's yelling, and you're just like it's chaos.
Yep.
You're like, or it seems like chaos. You're like,
Yeah.
this is fun. Like,
We
this
could
is
definitely
fucking-
make that happen.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
We've got
100%,
the
man.
group of boys to do
Yeah.
it.
100%.
yeah. We've all had Miles on the outside of
Miles
the car,
is like-
shirt off, whipping a shirt. Like if you had that inside the car, you'd be like, this is weird, but I'm here for it. Like it's getting scary in here, but like let's go.
Yeah.
But, no, but like there are some places like Northern Nats definitely does that. Like every night, it's
Yeah.
like there's 3 skids, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it can as many doors as you have, that's how many passengers you can have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a party
Nice.
every time,
2 seconds.
and you're like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that shit's good. We did want to talk about the family build. We know you're building a car for your
The
daughters.
girls have got a car coming up.
Yeah, so doing that together, like
Yeah.
as a
yes.
family.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely getting the girls on the tools.
Yeah. So I guess we'll talk about
As a new girl dad.
yeah.
As a new girl dad.
Girl dad myself, yeah.
Inspirations.
Yeah, Miles was like asking this question. I was like, man, I'm probably gonna cry the whole time he's answering. But he's like, ask it anyway. He's like, it's like a look into your future.
Well, as you
But-
know, building a car, you put parts on a car thinking in your head it's going to work.
Yeah.
We've got shelves of stuff from Phoenix.
Right.
Where
Okay.
it is like, it works, but not for a big blown burnout car. It doesn't work. They got shelved and we replaced it. So we've got like nearly a whole car sitting on the shelf, including block, pistons, rods,
Yeah.
everything.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not sinking like you don't have to sink heaps of money into it.
Yeah,
like,
we
you've got
need-
stuff
we're
there.
it's
gonna
all
build-
kind of already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to build Phoenix a new gearbox.
Yep.
And then Phoenix's gearbox
We'll go
will
into
go
their
into the
car.
girls' car.
Okay.
Like their car's not going to be anything like Phoenix. It won't be a
Yeah.
blown methanol thing, but it'll still be epic. You know,
Yeah.
we're going
It's
to do
NA, so twin carby.
twin carby, high rise, Holly manifold. You know, it'll be cool.
Yeah. And what is
On
it?
methanol.
What's the car?
So
It's
it
a
was
VZ
my
SS.
it was my
Okay.
nephew's car. So again, someone else's car.
Yeah.
A little bit of background story with that. It used to be
A drift car
drift
from
car
North
in
Queensland.
North
Okay.
Queensland.
So every panel on it has a dint, a scratch,
Yeah,
something, which is great.
It's
Everyone's like,
perfect
"Oh, what
for a
colour is it
loaner."
going to be?" I'm like, "It's going to be black because it's still black."
Yeah. Okay.
And then they can learn to drive it, and once
Yeah.
they learn to drive it, then I'll make it epic. But
Yeah.
until then, it's just going to be
Because you know they're gonna hit a wall at some
Yeah.
point.
a
Like
pretty
it's
mint
inevitable.
drive line in
Yeah.
it. Like I'll try and make it pretty indestructible, so they can just hold it on song and
Yeah.
But
whatever happens.
Until they learn
happens.
throttle control and then yeah.
That's it.
idea is meant to be plug and play. So that way, if Phoenix has an event to go to, it will come out as an NA.
God forbid
Like
something happens and I just can't get it together. I'll just steal
Yeah.
their motor for the event. And
yeah, and then
Yeah.
Okay.
and
go
eventually,
and send it as an
if he-
NA engine.
and eventually, if,
Like sorry
you know,
girls, it's happening.
yeah.
if he wants to run their car, he can put Phoenix's motor into their car. That's
Yeah,
the
like,
whole.
or vice versa. You know, I've been Phoenix and I need to get to the next event. I'll just put Phoenix's driveline in their car quickly, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or would you just
It's
skid
not
their
quickly,
car?
but it's,
or...
you know,
Oh, he will.
I think I will.
He will.
Yeah.
I
I'll have
reckon.
to test it
I was
to make
gonna
sure
say-
it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
I'd love to see him back in an NA car because then you could actually see him steer and drive.
And like it will be team out the bonnet as well. You know, like with the high rise and
Yeah.
And if it's not out the bonnet enough, well, I'll just buy bigger filters. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, but yeah,
So 100%,
Olivia can start next not this year, coming the year after. So we've got, that's why
Yep.
we started the build now, 18 months. All the
Okay.
parts are on the shelf so we can start to put it together.
Yeah.
And then she can start juniors.
Pretty locally, they've got a juniors comp that starts at 14.
Oh, nice.
So
That's really good.
she'll be able to get in it and start partying from then.
And then
Yeah,
that's
wow, that's really good.
2 years. I think some events are 16 that they can enter.
Yeah, I think the bigger ones are like 16 for like
Yeah.
passengers and then driving and
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, she rallies the golf buggy around the acre at the moment. And
she loves it. So.
And then eventually she'll get the keys to Phoenix and that's it.
yeah.
Probably.
It's all over.
Yeah, I'll just be driving to the events just to drink beer and watch them rally the two cars. So.
Towing everyone, yeah.
Pretty much.
In your walking chair. Yeah.
The point to
You're
getting the
walking.
girls involved is, you know, like we've got mates that are 40-year-old and don't know how to do an oil change, or
Yeah.
they don't. So it's, you know,
Changing tyres
in our
and-
in our world, in our realm,
Yeah.
it's common knowledge.
Yeah.
But it's actually a dying hobby or
Yeah.
a dying breed because
To
people.
do maintenance on your own
People,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
people are,
Yeah.
you know, you get a brand new car and it's don't drink the battery fluid. Like,
Yeah.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
really? You had to
Yeah.
put a warning for that?
Yeah.
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 So it's
It's a
nice
thing.
to see her on
Yeah.
the, you know, the wire wheel or anything
Yeah.
like that, and she's naming the parts and learning the proper names for tools. And
Yeah.
the goal will be that, you know, if Matt's at work, I can get them to an event. They can do their event. If it breaks, they can fix it and get it back on the pad, the same as we do with Phoenix. So,
Yeah. That's a good idea. Or they can even like, if say
Or
you're
help
on night shift
someone
or whatever,
else.
it's like they can service it. By
Yeah.
the time you get home, it's like ready
Yeah.
to load up.
That's
like, off we
right.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Ollie
They're
does.
not looking at it being like, I don't know what to do. It's like,
Yeah.
service
Ollie
it,
already
get it
does
ready.
the servicing on Phoenix.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does the
there you
oil
go.
changes
If I
when we
said go
come
and
home.
change the oil on Phoenix for me, she'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
that's
check everything that it's tight
Yeah,
enough.
that's
But
okay.
yeah,
I
That's
double
awesome.
check it. Like not because it's her, because
it's anyone.
I just double check everything. Like if you done it, or Kieran
Yeah.
done it, or Miles done it, or anyone done it.
I've
like,
definitely checked
I'd,
it if Miles did it.
I'd
for
just
sure.
check it anyway. Just 'cause, yeah.
Mean.
Yeah, I'd check in servicing my vacuum cleaner if it fucking did that. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna have a look.
See these horror stories of the sump plug rattled loose during the burnout, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, oh God forbid.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
the tire comes off and they're not doing up
Yeah.
the wheel nut.
Yeah.
I think it'd always be that thing in the back of your head, like, was it me or was it you? Or like, who
Yeah.
was the last one to touch it?
See, if
And you
I'm the
start
last one to
questioning
touch
everyone.
it, I've got no one
Yeah.
else to blame except me. Then.
Yeah. It's like losing the TV remote in your lounge room. You just lose trust in everyone.
Yeah.
You're like, everyone stand up.
Yeah.
Someone
Everyone's
fucking
sitting
got
on
it.
it, like-
Yeah. So like,
100%.
if it gets to your car, you're like, I'll just double check. Like you
Yeah.
even did on the weekend, like with your, like when you're swapping tires and everything. Like I just go around and just manually
Yeah.
check, like do them all just to
Yeah.
make sure like it's all good.
That's it, and then it's
Yeah.
just done. It's hassle free. Then.
Yeah.
I know it's good.
Yeah, I just ooga-dooga and then I'm like, should be right. And then sometimes I try and take them off. I'm like, oh, maybe that's a little bit too many ooga-doogas. Like, because it gets hard to like weld itself to the rim. I'm like, oh god. Like, I think I've had him before. Like,
Remember Rocky Nuts?
Yeah.
I
look-
just smashed him in with this
Yeah.
massive.
He's looking at me he's like, do you just do them up like until it's enough?
I
I'm
was
like,
just
yeah. And then we
on all of them.
Oh, no.
skidded, rim bashed, so got it hot, come off in the pits, and the rattle gun wouldn't turn them. Like
Yeah.
they were just stuck.
They
And,
were
I, and,
that
I was,
tight.
and then I was like, and then in my head I'm like, fuck, this doesn't normally happen to me. And I looked over and Kieran's like,
and I'm like,
Oh dear.
Yeah.
what happened here?
and I was
boys?
like, I was like, what happened? He goes, I just kept going with the rattle gun. And I was like,
I had to make
fuck.
sure that was
Well, in our like we have a spare parts, like like it's happened before. So it's
Yeah.
like our freak out box that lives in the trailer. There is brand new
There's
packets
wheel
of wheel
studs.
studs
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
So every time someone helps us, we're replacing a wheel stud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just I don't know. You figure it out, but I've learned that like they get hot and then it like kind of welds itself to the rim.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I think the last one, I took it to the shop and we got an angle grinder and cut it off, and then which fucked the stud as well.
Yeah.
So it was like it was a whole thing, but I could not, like it wasn't moving. So it got that hot. It took the paint off the rim, and then everything just like basically just got stuck there. And then one of the boys was like, yeah, we'll just get a grinder and cut it off. And I was like, fuck, this is getting
Here
worse.
we go.
It's snowballing like out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I don't know if I blamed you or not, but probably. I was like, fucking, this is definitely.
we
like,
figured out it was me.
This is a Kieran. This is a Kieran thing. Like he likes to just look at you and be like, what? And just keep on going, like,
As it's going.
like, it's on there, champ. It's on there. Like it's on
So
there.
wanted to come off for you.
I've learnt my lesson now with it, but I was definitely like doing it out of worry because I didn't want it to like come loose, and I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I saw you like, zoop, and then like hand, you're like, bang, there we go. Like that's.
Yeah.
a good idea.
Not-
More
not-
work, but a good idea.
Not gonna lie, I watched your America videos a couple of times, and I was watching the
Cringing.
Dugger Duggers, and you're like, that'll do it. I'm like,
Oh yeah, there was a couple
I'd be
there.
hanging off that.
So we did up the cam sprocket.
The everything.
Yeah, a lot of
everything.
A lot of it was.
Everything.
The SP tool rattle gun got to work.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah, we had the little one. Some dude commented in like I used the little one to do up the cam sprocket, and we checked the torque on it, like with the without the camera rolling. It was sweet.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Oh, that thing's at 80 foot-pound," and I'm like, "Man, it's not like it's not the big rattle gun."
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But we did use the big rattle gun for like the crank hub.
Yep.
And yeah, it's on there. Like, I don't know.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
you're like, what do we do?
Oh well.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's on there.
yeah.
We cracked the
That'll come out in a couple of months anyway.
Jacko cracked the sump on the corner, doing it up like with the rattle gun,
Oh, like
doing the sump
gone
up.
too tight.
Do you know when I first put that 4.8, well not first put the 4.8, but put the 4.8 together at Winginit in the shed, and I cracked that corner. Jacko did the same thing over in the States, and I was just like,
no.
I remember that. Yeah.
I'm like, you idiot, but I'd like done the same thing.
Yeah. You always quick to
Why
jump on
couldn't you
someone
learn
else
from
and do
my
it.
mistakes?
Yeah.
That you didn't see and
Did you
weren't
not
aware
watch my
of.
video of me doing it? Or-
Yeah.
Got to learn your own lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, the girls' car, like it's great. Like it's not, and we haven't forced it on them at all.
Yeah.
like
It's
it's
something
definitely
they wanted. So
Actually,
I was like, let's make it happen.
Olivia
Yeah.
got cranky because started to do some videos and stuff, and she was working on it, and she'd come home from school and she'd be like, "All right, so what are we doing?" And we got to the point like coming up here, we were like, "Can't touch your car. We need to do Phoenix." And like she stayed up there for like 20 minutes, half an hour, and then went in the house with the shits because she wanted to work on her car.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the next day she's like, "Yeah, all right, we'll get Phoenix ready. It's okay." But yeah, like it's definitely I don't know if you like you got a young girl, everyone carries on like girl or boy. It doesn't matter if you breathe it, live it. And
Yeah.
if
And
it's
there's
your
not a lot of-
religion,
Not a lot of
Yeah.
girls in the scene too,
she'll-
so it's good
she'll
that they're
take
going to
part.
be so keen to get involved with it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of events now doing a ladies class too.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
putting money
Yeah.
behind it, like it's good. Like
Yeah.
there are,
Yeah.
And then there are girls skidding with pros and stuff as well.
So I'm
However-
keen for her to be as good as the boys. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't agree with the male and like I'm a girl and I'm saying it. I don't agree
Yeah.
with the male and female class.
Yeah.
It is still a car. It's still burnt. It's still built. It's still on the same pad. What's that got to do with male or female? Like if you're
That
on
and
that
steering.
scene,
Yeah.
you
can either
should be
steer or you
taking
can't.
on the males and
Yeah.
be able to steer it. Like
Yeah.
there's no
100%.
there's males that are skinny arms like me or they're big arms like it doesn't
Skinny arm, big arm.
it doesn't matter. Like good on
Yeah.
them because it's enticing more females to do it. But
yeah, to like to get into the scene.
Yeah.
Like I think it's good in a way of like, you can come in the scene and like practice.
Yeah.
And then if you want to, you can go that way.
But maybe a girl's session. But if you
Yeah.
want to compete, you compete
you
with
can
the
go-
boys.
yeah.
Like
like look at Brick Kill, like Brick.
Yeah, 100%.
Like
Like,
I
she takes
rock up
on the
to
best
Vent.
of 'em.
Yeah, I rock up to
Mate,
Vent and she's and I'm like,
yeah.
fuck.
100%.
Like, especially if it's like NA.
because
Impressive.
it's not like an
Yeah.
endurance thing. It's not
Yeah.
like wrestling or like supercars get that. Like male and female are different for endurance, going around like doing 300 laps.
Yeah.
Understand that one, but burnouts it's a minute and a half.
Yeah,
Like come on.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
I'm disappointed because Phoenix is always meant to be a dual driver, and that's why I do socials and
Because
I book all the events and stuff.
Yeah, you have to go in the blown
But she was supposed to be driving it too.
yeah. So it was always meant to be a dual build, and then I hurt myself, so it's crap. But like I'm very much focused and watch and see what the girls are doing because I wish I was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no reason for it to be split. It shouldn't.
Yeah,
be.
100%, definitely. Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
I hope by the time the girls are on the scene, it is, females are taking on the males. And, if you're the best and you tick all them boxes, then you deserve to win.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just get it
100%.
because you're in your own little category.
Oh, yeah, definitely, 100%. And I don't think it's going to take long And yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to definitely be that way for sure.
Especially if they're starting,
like 100%. Yeah,
starting, like getting straight into it as soon as they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. By the
they're
time
going to be good. Like,
yeah.
by the
Yeah.
time they're 18.
That's
yeah,
right.
they'll be skilled
Yeah.
through the roof. Like
Yeah.
I didn't start until I was
25. They're going to be.
yeah.
exactly.
Like 10 years,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
10 years
Like-
under their belt. At
That's
25.
right. That's
Like,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll
Yeah.
definitely keep with the Phoenix theme with the girls' build, and we'll combine them.
Yeah. We actually ordered their number plates today, so that their car's going to be called Medusa.
Oh, nice.
cool.
Yeah.
It's like the pretty lady that all the boys look at, and they're going to get turned to stone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
But so we'll start
That's
to
cool.
rebrand as such into Mythic Burnouts Australia.
Yep. That's going to be our new thing. That's the first time that's ever been spoken of too.
Yeah.
Shit.
Heard
But-
it here first.
We got
Yeah.
a podcast like fucking special.
Yeah. So
Very nice.
Order the plates, so the girls will, when we get home, the plates will be there, so they'll start to. We did the same thing with Phoenix. We built the car around the plate, so
Yeah.
yeah, and Medusa's fitting,
Yeah. I think
and
once.
it's an offsider to Phoenix, so
Yeah.
already got some pretty cool merch in the lines of
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
just discussing today of what they want.
Yeah. I feel like once you've got a plate and then it's on the car, then like it kind of takes on a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Like you can build a car and be like, oh yeah, I'll call it this.
It just becomes his personality. Like
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
thing, like Cuddles stands out
Yeah.
because it is iconic. Like it is
100%.
different. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
like Phoenix stands out for being multicolored Commodore, but it's still a Commodore.
Yeah.
But we've got the multicolor going
Yeah,
for it,
yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
play on Phoenix, and
We're
then
the Harlequin
Yeah.
one. We're like that's like the tropical Commodore.
The Hawaiian
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's epic and
Like-
pinky. It's like the pink one.
Yeah.
Like,
Nadia's a massive
Nadia's-
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nadia does like if your car was there in Phoenix, she'd just leave us.
She'd take the pink one every day of the week. Even if it didn't even have a motor in it, I'll take the pink one still.
Yeah.
Yours does get like
Yeah.
the kids. You always like.
Yeah.
I remember driving around at Summer Nats.
Yeah.
like the parents holding the kid, and the kid's like, "Oh, look, it's pinky."
Yeah.
Like, that's the favorite.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
distinctly remember like, oh no, a year
Which
or
is
two
awesome.
ago.
Yeah.
I was driving like doing the cruise route, coming around like the top 60s, like on your right, and there was a dad here, and he was like holding a little girl.
Yeah.
And the little girl just waved at us, and we waved at her back, and like the dad looked at me and just sort of gave him like a little head nod,
Yeah.
and I was just like, holy fuck! I was like, that was
Yeah.
that was just like a weird, different moment where I was like, fuck, that was like cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like,
It's-
yeah, I don't care who likes it or like who waves or whatever or what car you got, but yeah, a little kid like appreciates it, then you're
Yeah.
like, it's
Or you
different.
you take
You're like,
yourself back because you go, oh, I remember when I was little. Like you see
Yeah.
that look and
Yeah.
that I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah, the
it's
dad,
awesome.
yeah, the
Yeah.
dad appreciated it because we were
Yeah.
waving. I think we handed something out, or like stickers or a shirt
Yeah.
or something, and yeah, the dad was just sort of like, cheers.
We were
like,
talking
fuck.
about on the way here the cars that are like become their own personality or
Yeah,
icon, and then you're just the driver. Like like
Yeah.
Tough HG, it's Tough HG, but it's Barney and Wall. Like
Yeah.
it,
yeah,
like I love it where they've got their own little like we're always trying to keep up with Phoenix. Like
Yeah.
it
Very,
is-
very much. It's Cuddles and Kieran, and it's
yeah.
oh yeah,
Pinky and Craig.
Yeah.
And at Phoenix and Matt. Like
yeah,
where you get the
Lynchy
Lynchy and Lynchy. Like
Nobody else can drive that car. Like
it's
it
just
is.
Lynchy's car.
It's
Like
him.
Kieran could drive Phoenix every day, and it'd be like, oh, here's Kieran in Phoenix.
Yeah,
It's still Phoenix is its own self. It's not.
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's not. Here's Kieran in Matt McCabe. Like,
Yeah.
as weird as that sounds, that's,
Yeah.
that's fucked up. As soon as I
Like,
said it, I was like, wow,
yeah.
that's pretty fucked up.
Kieran's like, I'm kind of about, like, I don't know.
See again with
But,
me just
you know,
walking
like-
away with the signatures.
Yeah,
But like that's
yeah.
what-
She's like, yeah, just like, I don't know, if you want to go for it, go for it.
Whatever.
and your dick
This
pics.
this couch took on a whole new meaning. Yeah. Do you want to swap?
We'll talk later.
We can turn the cameras off and then they can start back up after.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no, it is. It is. They're definitely cars that have like personalities,
Yeah.
and you can see that like a mile away. And
Yeah.
there are cars that just they're skidders and like people enjoying it and everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's like what you put into it. Like the merch helps definitely. Like there are things you can do. It kind of separates you a little bit from the rest, and then it kind of just keeps on.
I
going.
think
So,
that's a part of it now. Like we didn't know what we're signing up for. Matt
Yeah.
just wanted to have fun, do burnouts.
Yeah.
Didn't realize,
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh holy shit, I'm in a pro level car.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that was the thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
it
then-
sucks.
Yeah,
Hey, you
seriously,
build it and you're like,
didn't know.
ah, damn. Like, the car's like really good, really set up, and you're like, I don't know.
You're lined up with these guys, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's sick, bro." Like, congratulations, like how long you been on the scene? You're like, oh, this is my first burnout.
2 minutes.
Literally.
And you're in the pro line. You're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you're about to learn a lesson.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
I feel like I am.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, I went to, I think it may have been Northern Nats a few years ago, and I entered like V8s and pros. But then I didn't know at the time, once you entered pros, you couldn't go back.
Yeah.
So like that event, like it was all good. Then like for the next year, you're only pros from there on. You can't go back again because they're like you've gotten to, you've skidded in a level up here. You can't go back and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I didn't know that.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
assuming maybe it's because like they feel like you've gotten that experience and you can't go
Yeah.
back down and like sort of not like you would just dominate it, but like
Yeah.
like it's a theory is like you may just win it. So they're like, no,
Yeah.
if you're big enough to step up, you stay up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, all right. And then at the time I was like, fuck, I hadn't done that. I would have stayed in there for a little bit and like crept up. But I was like,
Yeah.
like it's more skids.
Yep.
I was like, why not? Like I drove all this way.
That
Like,
was him. He was like, I built this beast. I don't know how to drive it. And
Yeah.
I'm a professional burnout
Yeah.
driver.
Yeah.
But then you also
Like-
learn super quick too.
Yes.
Like
you
because
do.
you have to.
Yeah.
You have
Like,
to. Yeah, that's right. You-
Everyone's all of a sudden, everyone's eyes on you. Like there's
Yeah.
a big blown car comes out, and if you're doing shit, they're like, "Who's this guy?" So you're like,
Like, as we're saying, like, majority of our family aren't into cars, not in
Yeah.
the car scene. They've got no idea. Like, his brother doesn't I don't know if he's worked out the level of car that you're driving, but
yeah.
you need to get him in the car at some point. But trying to explain it to people, Matt will be at work and like he's pretty high up there. Like,
I hope he does watch this one day, Paul. But he probably won't watch this. Like he's just not that into cars.
Into cars,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
but like at work, like Matt's like a big businessman, and then is like his screensaver comes up and there's this big blown methanol thing in the background, and then he's got to try and like I don't know, burnouts have that stigma like that they're not.
yeah,
That they couldn't be a professional thing. They are
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
rebels out on the road with their 5-page driving record. Like they're
Jesus.
just beyond.
Yeah.
Like you just rebels. Like
Yeah.
it's bad news. So
Yeah.
are we like the people that are as this it's an advocate to get people off the roads.
Yeah.
Like it's an awesome thing, but the people that aren't into it don't understand. Same like we don't know fishing. Like.
yeah,
Or cricket, and that's the majority of people that are around us is like we have a couple of car friends, but there's no one there to
My best mate plays cricket. Like
yeah
doesn't have a car.
yeah.
He just ordered a brand new Isuzu D-Max, and his wife drives a Kia. Like,
yeah. But he hands the beers out when you need help. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Sit there and talk
That's
shit.
right.
Yeah.
He'll drink beers till the cows come home. Like legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I need
But-
that in the shed.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So like us, like we enjoy it because like it's our passion, religion, everything.
And he is like right in on
Biggest
what
supporter.
I do.
Yeah.
So, like he's massive supporter on what I do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not a car
But
guy.
not like into it.
Yeah.
That this 40-year-old. Sorry, Kurt, but going there with this. This 40-year-old that didn't know how to do the oil change only a year or two back was my best mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Olivia's like touched base with him on how to do an oil change. So
Yeah, right.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's I don't know. So we appreciate the burnout scene for the knowledge, the information. Like we've refined Phoenix as we've met new people. Like
Yeah.
the Mad Nats crew have helped us massively.
Yeah,
like
those
with
are awesome.
information
Those
we had
boys
no
are
idea.
They know what they're
about.
doing too,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Far out. Those cars are dialed in.
He's
Yeah.
a true legend to the
Yeah.
scene, man.
Yeah.
Like, he
Yeah.
is a true legend. Yeah.
Yeah. They are like a bunch
Like
of good dudes.
all
We
them
came
guys
here
call
with
him dad.
Rocky Nats.
Fuck, I'd nearly call him dad. Like he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
He does seem like that,
Yeah,
eh? He's
yeah.
got that vibe.
Yeah.
And he very
He
much takes
is.
you under your wing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and like
Because he's
same-
Tristan's dad,
he
right?
Yeah.
actually is Tristan and Ben's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a good bunch of fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to get them on, and I'd love to go like to their event too. Like, it
Oh,
just seems
yeah,
like a
dude.
party. We talked
Awesome.
about it in Rocky Nats. We were like, fuck.
Apparently
Well, they
it's
haven't
like-
done it for ages, supposedly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't heard of it being on either.
It's been
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
over a year or so.
He was
for
saying, I
sure.
think there's a bucket. Everyone's phone goes in the bucket
Yeah,
at the start of the event.
and it's
just
like the passenger has to pay a cart and a piss because the entrant or like the guy who owns the car is the one who's going to be put on the show. So
Yeah.
you've got passengers; they've got to pay cartons to get in,
Yes.
and then everyone just drinks the cartons.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck!" And he's like,
Yeah.
"It's a party."
Yeah.
I was like, "That sounds like a party straight up."
Oh
Mad
man,
Nut.
He's
Yeah.
like, "You don't." He's like, "You don't have to pay anything
Mad.
because you're coming to put on the show."
Yeah.
But your friends that are coming along for the ride, they have to pay cartons.
100%.
I was like, okay, like
What
that's
an epic show.
yeah, and that's that's great. Like
I want to go there right now.
Yeah, let's load up Phoenix. We're going.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us-
She's still loaded.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
good.
yeah. Let's get let's
Might
get-
need some more tyres though. We've been cruising around Queensland on this little holiday at the
Buying
moment
some.
with the blown out tyres. So they've got the most.
They're all
Ks
still
on them.
loaded in the back of the ute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Put a
seen
little-
all the tyres in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Put
you
a little
walked up.
story up at Dreamworld, like everyone takes their blown out tyres to Dreamworld. And
You're just hoping they'll get flogged. So you don't have to dispose of
don't
them.
have to worry about them then.
We
Yeah.
joked about that. We drove down this street, and I was like, maybe I should leave a note that says, "Please leave the rims."
I was going to
Like,
say, yeah,
And then-
leave it at the front of my house long enough, that'd be gone.
as
So
we,
you ran, but you know.
as we pulled up, there was like a red. What was it? VY, VZ.
VE, it was the VE up the road, done a big burnout up the road as we pulled up.
Oh, really?
We were like, yeah, we're in the right place.
Yeah, only my neighbours.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. That's weird because I'm normally the one doing it, but I don't have any. Yeah.
He may or
make
may
it
not allegedly lap Pinky around here
Yeah.
from time to time.
Yeah,
There's a
winning.
lady down the street. And it was like 2 weeks or a week before Power Cruise, and I did a lap because I changed the pipes on it, and I was like, I want to hear it. My wife heard me on that corner, and I come back down the street, and then the group chat on like the whole where we live was blowing up.
And he was like,
They're like, oh, must be an
sorry.
event on soon. Like that pink thing's out driving again. My wife's like, yeah. He just did some things on it. He's just trying to see like if it all worked. She's like, I'm sorry, and they're like, no, keep going. Like it's all good.
Yeah,
And I got
sounds
back.
awesome.
Yeah, I got back, and she's like, I could hear it every corner of like the street
Yeah.
blocks. And I was like, like I know what you want me to say. Like I'll
Yeah.
drive down the road, and there's an old guy at the front of his house. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
What's this heap
Like
of
I'm
shit?
gonna. I'm looking at it. Yeah. Well, I'm looking at it like, sorry, sir. Right, like sort of past him.
Yeah.
Like,
The
Look at
estate we live in's got what, 2 highway patrol coppers, and then
Yep.
another 2 just standard.
oh shit.
Oh, true.
Yeah, but they've all like they ride past on their motorbikes or whatever, and we're like, hi.
They beep their horns and wave.
Yeah.
And
We're like, just be friendly.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello." And,
one of them I actually had beers with one night, and he was like, "Oh, look," one of my mates is like G'ing him up. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna do fat laps in Phoenix and this and that," and he's like, "Oh God, look, I promise you, I will not do a thing to you, but I can't guarantee that for any of the other policemen in the estate.
Yeah.
Please don't do it." Like,
And the other
"All
ones
right,
are probably
I
all
won't."
thinking the same thing. They're like, none
Yeah.
of us gonna rat you out.
But it's been good because like if we've had a couple of sponsors want a photo shoot or something, we're surrounded by bush, so we've just
Have driven it down to the
driven
end of
down the end of the
street,
road
it's
and just
pretty
like
epic
send them a
spot
message to
take
say
photos and stuff.
we're just doing this.
Yeah.
And they'll come by and just sit and wait with us
Yeah.
while we do the photos. At least that way the sponsors get the good shots as such without our house being in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been nice.
Yeah, that's good. And then the cops know, you're not like playing
Yeah.
around. And
Well,
then
that's what they're
driving
like.
straight
They're
back
like,
And
home.
I'm not
we
like power
understand
skid to
it.
the end of the street and power skid back
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
shed kind of thing. It's just idle it down there and idle back and behave
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
as much as I want to. But
Oh, yeah, we all want to.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. There's so many times I'd be like, I could probably register this thing. Then I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, don't worry about that. Like, it's not happening.
probably shouldn't shoot where you sleep.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So future events, anything like you want to get to?
We
you haven't
are
done?
always trying to work out how we can get over west.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like we want
Love to get the motivation.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be pretty
Go to
epic.
the Plex. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. We were that close to going to the Darwin one this year.
That's definitely very high on the list as well.
For
The
Gazanats?
Gazanats.
Yeah.
I think that's like everyone's. Like,
Yeah.
100%.
Tropical Meltdown's always been a thing.
Yeah.
We did discuss that earlier. But,
Yeah.
we're definitely doing that next year.
Yep.
And you're like back and forth of whether you leave the country or not.
Yes.
But you have been for 18 months. For
Don't we
18
know a
months.
guy that
Buddy,
can
all
help
of us
you?
will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can share a container. Let's go.
It's not definitely not off the cards. Put
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Like we'd sell our house tomorrow. Like we're 90% there. We just
yeah.
need that push. Like we just haven't committed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I was once Kieran got back in the country, we talked heaps. And then after a couple of beers, I'm like, it's going in the container tomorrow. I'm in.
yeah.
Come
We're
home.
doing
My,
it.
my
I
wife's
did
like,
G him up.
yeah, 100%. Then he's like half five. He's like, fuck yeah, like let's fucking do it. I go
Yeah.
home. My wife's like, hang on. Let's just think about this logically. She's like, I'm not saying no. Let's
Yeah.
just think about when you want to do it, or like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that someone at announcement
Oh,
came
yeah.
out being like,
Oh.
we want to take someone that's there.
Epic.
My wife said to me today, she's like, how about you see what their plans are,
Yeah.
and then basically like go. She's like, I'll give you free reign. Go when someone had to go.
Yeah. Well,
And I was like, fuck.
we
okay.
applied before Summer Nats with
Yeah.
the Power Cruise thing, and we were like, done. Like, Matt was like, I'm going to quit work unless they give me time off. We're
Yeah.
selling the house, selling the trailer, selling the Ram. Cats are going here, chickens are going there. Like, we were done.
Yeah.
We were like sold, and then didn't come through that we didn't.
Honestly, we could just sell the Ram and we'd be there. Like,
Yeah.
It's just,
That's-
yeah.
don't even,
Yeah, well, that'd pay for a trip.
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like there's $100,000 there straight up. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it's definitely
But
now that
yeah,
like
it's just that push. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it.
Yeah.
It's the reasons are there, but they're not there yet.
It's
Like,
still too young. Like, people
Yeah.
are still going over. Like, we went over there. The whole group is basically, I don't know. Yeah, like
guinea
you're going
pigs.
over there, you think there's going to
unknown.
be
Yeah.
there's going to be lots of stuff happening, and don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, like there was a lot of good stuff happening, but it's not quite there yet.
Yeah,
you
I-
wouldn't
I-
go there and get like you're getting a bit of help here and there, but it's
Yeah.
not solid
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
we have been chatting with Lacey and Zach,
Zach, yeah,
like,
a
and
lot.
they're
'cause-
awesome.
because
Yeah.
it was when you would put in your car in the container. We're
Yeah.
like, maybe we can do it. Maybe we can do it. And then we're like, in the container, no. And then Jacko called.
Jacko was like, we should do it. We should share a container. I'm like, oh, I'm not quite there yet. Like,
Oh,
I'm
like-
there, but I'm not there yet. And he's
Yeah.
like, well,
I'm going.
I'm going to Brisbane next week. See ya. Kind of thing. Like, you're a
Okay.
legend, bro.
Yeah.
Like, love it.
Yeah.
Good on you. But
Yeah. And then we followed everything and watched everything. Every time we're like, oh, we could be there. Like, it's definitely there. Like, it's definitely not a no. And then we're like, well, what about if we just go to New Zealand? Like, let's do
oh,
that
and do the
one.
New Zealand
yeah,
circuit.
Like-
venture out that way. Like,
Because they've got events on every
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
3 weeks. I think
Yeah,
what I've been
and they're
watching.
big. Like their crowds, they get. Like I've seen a
Yeah.
couple of videos. It looks intense. Like there are
Yeah.
people everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah, I at least weekly. I'm like, selling the house and we're living in the trailer, living on the road. Like
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I could message Andrew Murphy tomorrow and be like, start sorting a container out. We're going.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, yeah,
It's
buddy.
just like adulting.
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
In the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. And like watching these guys do it, you're like, there's a FOMO definitely comes swinging in. Like
Yeah.
every now and again, I'm like, fuck, I want to be there. And then I know they're going back next month. So I'm like, I want to go back at least for like a week or two, which would also be good without the car because then you can sort of test it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do like either SEMA and Cletus event.
That'd be epic. SEMA
Like-
would be sick.
Yeah, SEMA would be sick. And like then you get to do the event without having to worry about a car being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like sort of like feel it all out. It's
Yeah.
just like over here going to Summer Nats as a spectator without having a car there.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
definitely recommend that,
And
by
then-
the way. If
then
anyone's
you-
thinking of going, like definitely if you can go over there and like rip the Band-Aid off because it's all so new and different. Like
Yeah.
definitely do it without a car. 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get to feel her out, and then I guess, yeah, you're like, all right, this is what it's all like. When I come back with the car, I know what to do and what I can
Yeah.
and can't do, which makes a lot of sense. So,
Well, even like on the way up here, Matt was like, "We'll just sell everything. And we'll just get an RV and we'll tow our trailer around and we'll
And we'll
just
just
tour
do it
around
in
Australia."
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Do the Australia.
You can get some really nice RVs.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Like crazy nice.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, well, Wall and that are selling with One Tough HG. They're selling the truck.
Yeah.
They've got an RV, and he's got a trailer built in like Sydney, and
Yeah,
that's how they're moving their stuff around now. And he's getting
Yeah.
rid of the big truck. and
That
everything.
was
It's on
parked
top
up
of
at
the
Power
hill.
Cruise.
Yeah.
That's that's the bloody
The
American setup. That's what we've all got.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
like same size. The
Yep.
his trailer's like a bit different, but
Yeah.
it looks like identical.
It's like the
Have my
it's like the
trailer that
Australian
I've already
version of
got
it.
and
yeah.
a SMIC RV to pull it. It
Yeah.
would be epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. I think everyone now is kind of like, it's on the back of everyone's mind. Everyone's
Yeah.
kind of like, America is right there. We're all ready to go.
Yeah.
Sort of. So yeah, for me personally, I'm just waiting to see what some of that's sort of do.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
exciting.
that's
and-
pretty
It's
epic
exciting
news.
because
Yeah.
it was, I don't know, we're new on the scene, didn't overly, we knew Summer Nats, but
Yeah.
didn't know it as a entrant. And yeah, watching it wasn't our pick of events.
Yeah.
Because we like to use the car.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
It's hard, like blowing mechanical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
car.
not it's not
Like,
the place for a blown car.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially if the
200
cruise
bucks a
route,
lap.
if the cruise
That's
route's
right.
full.
And the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You blew like $100 on the first lap you did. He
Yeah.
come back to the camp and he's like, "That's literally $100 gone."
Yeah.
It's like,
I got the
You
screw.
can't.
I was winding the idle screws in
Yeah.
lean,
Well,
just because I wanted to do laps, but
Yeah,
not.
if we get stuck in the traffic and we're
Yeah.
there for an hour and a half to do a lap, we'll chew a whole tank.
Yeah.
It's got a 75-litre tank in it. You
Yeah.
know, like
That's $3.50 a litre.
$4 a litre it was for the
$4,
methanol.
yeah.
And then, because I've done a whole lap and thrown 75, 80 litres through the engine,
He'll do an oil change.
a normal change. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
$400 lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
Literally
highlight of
$400 lap.
summer nights for us was there was
Like, it's just
a family
ludicrous.
with 3 kids that came and got in the car while we were lined up to go out on the pad. Like
Yeah.
that was our
Yeah.
highlight because we got to share. Like we love sharing the car.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if we haven't got, if the event's not there that we can't open the doors and put the kids in and they can look at the buttons and switches and
Yeah.
Yeah.
touch and feel the car and get the photo with the car, like it's not the event for us. Like,
Yeah.
we love sharing the car. Like that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That definitely changes it for sure.
Yeah.
And like I saw a video the other day and it was like, it was a video of all the boys driving back from like basically like the Masters finals, like the one that was the summer that was just gone.
Yeah.
And it was like you see smoke, see them blow, like all the big rigs. So basically like the top
Epic.
10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone was just like watching them and every phone was out. It's like that needs to be a cruise like hour or two.
100%.
Of
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
you have to be
Yeah.
like blown methanol basically.
blown methanol, like
You
You
get
get
like
lap.
an hour
Yeah.
of power of
Yeah.
just like
every
Of just
day.
lapping.
get the big
Yeah.
dogs out,
And
take them for
Yeah.
a lap.
and
that-
there should be
yeah.
like on that oval where they park up all the big blown cars.
Yeah.
Like you get an
Yeah.
extra little sticker thing and it
Yeah.
go and put it there
Yeah.
like for a couple of hours. So, all these kids that they go there, all, the big kids want to
Yeah.
go and see these cars.
As I said, it was $400 for a lap in the peak time.
Yeah.
All
But,
they want to do is
like,
see it. So
at 10
it'd be
o'clock in
happy
the
to be
morning,
there.
I done 7 or 8 laps to a tank
Yeah, okay.
because it
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
which was epic. Everyone got to see the car.
Yeah.
I got to actually enjoy just doing some fat
Do-
lapping.
Yeah,
and
do like an hour of power every like 1 minute, send
Yeah.
a blown car each way. So
Yep.
I'd have like a minute between them and
Yep.
just do like 10 or 20 of them.
Yep.
And then by the time, and just do that for like an hour.
Yeah.
Or until they run out of fuel or whatever.
Yeah,
and then,
because you can get
Like-
that, and I'd 100% be supportive of that.
Yeah.
I'd be in on that. That's
I think
Yeah.
that's one thing
cool
that
as.
needs to change because
Yeah.
I go there and I'm like, I don't see any of the big dudes cruise.
No, because
they're
you
driving
can't.
to the
Because
pad
they're
and
all
then
worried about this $400 bill for a
Yeah.
lap.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
washing their bearings out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you can't
yeah.
just run them like a normal car. Like,
No.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
driving to the pad, skidding, driving back to their
Yeah.
pit, and then like you don't see them again.
Yeah,
you
and
gotta
at
go
least
to their
at
camp
least if
or-
you had
Yeah.
the line, like I don't care
Yeah.
if they handpicked them. Like,
yeah,
and literally went, that's it. Like
Yeah.
you'd get that
Yeah.
view.
Yeah, we had like Lux for 1 year. He was lapping past and he saw our camp and we're like just off the cruise route and it was like chaos.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Roop," and just swung in for a chat
Well,
for like 20 minutes. And he's like looking around, he's like, cheers for the chat, boys. I'm off. And then like could finally drive back to his camp. He's
Yeah,
like,
well, that's
otherwise
what
he was
we
sitting
did.
in.
Yeah.
We drove past,
Mm.
had to turn around, didn't even complete a lap, came back, sat with you guys for like
Yeah.
20 minutes, and we're like, yeah, we can go
Yeah.
back. And we didn't even do the whole lap. We
Yeah.
just turned around and came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, I reckon like an hour, like you said, hour power or something like that, which
Yep.
the big boys cruise, man, it would change the entire event,
Epic.
I reckon, like for
Yeah.
sure. I guess sort of wrapping up, we're getting toward the end of it. How can we all support Phoenix and what you guys do? Website, social media.
Yeah, jump in
Yeah.
our socials, jump in our websites.
A
Yeah.
like, a share, a comment, don't care if it's good
Yeah.
or bad. It is great for us.
Yeah.
It
so
is.
you do have a website though? Or...
Yeah, we've got a website. It's in all of our bios.
Yeah.
The girls make all the merch at home, so
Nice.
it's quite like they've got a heat press. Anarchy prints out the DTF for us.
Yep.
They assemble them on the weekend or the afternoon. Hence why the range has got so big because they're learning new things.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
the girls, they're crafty.
Yep.
So yeah, they make the hoodies, they make the trackies, the hats, all of that. They get pocket money from it, and it pays for tires and methanol. So
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes,
sweet.
to the event.
That's awesome.
definitely
Yeah.
gets us to the events.
Nice.
Like we'd love to use like a company to make it because I just can't do it. But the girls enjoy, like, I don't know, they're learning money as
Yeah.
well. And
Yeah.
that's I think when you came over to our site, there was a couple of people wanting shirts and
Yeah.
stuff, and come on, girls. Like
Yeah.
they
Get into it,
they
yeah.
go, they sell the bits and pieces, they get the pocket money.
Yeah.
Like they paid for Dreamworld like
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
Epic.
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, honestly, a like or a share is definitely where this world's at. Like,
Yeah.
socials matter more than
spreads
buying merch at the moment. Like,
Yep.
because there's so many cars that got built during COVID that you can't get tickets. Like, some of these events are selling out in 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And you need
Yeah.
like these invite only events is where it's becoming. Like,
Yeah.
and we know
Yeah. They're getting like too big and
we know
100%.
we're new on the scene. He's still learning. He's learnt,
Yeah.
you've earned a couple of extra things now.
Yeah.
But we know that we're getting tickets and spots because of our social media presence.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, definitely.
But like,
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so we're on all platforms. So our biggest one is Instagram. It's Phoenix GDS.
Phoenix_GDS. For
Phoenix
Instagram.
_GDS.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it's pretty well branded at the moment. You put in burnout car, we're in the top of the feeds
Yeah, wow.
at the moment.
That's cool.
It's all
That's good.
keystroking.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but yeah, we're Instagram. We've started Facebook. The girls are helping with that. TikTok's there, but TikTok seems to be taken down by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like with the
Yeah.
burnouts and stuff. They've got Threads.
I get mine, yeah. That
And
happens all the time.
with the Insta360, we've started doing some YouTube things, but
Not
I
much on
I
YouTube
can't
at
sit
the
at a
moment.
computer. So
and edit
I
and-
can't edit. So unless
Yeah.
I can do it on my phone, I can't do it. So we'll just put up a few videos here, there, and everywhere. But our main base is Instagram.
Instagram. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you got anything else?
No.
Anything you want to know?
Thanks
Yeah.
for taking me out again. It was awesome.
Man, thanks for taking me too.
It's
No,
all about
it is.
sharing.
Fuck it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved it.
Take us out anytime. Yeah.
Next
You're
time.
next.
Next time.
It was,
Yeah, we'll probably be up for a Fridays event. Like we've been,
Yeah.
like we live in New
100%.
South Wales, and we have been to QR 4 times this year.
Yeah.
Like we're
yeah, far out.
Like-
Have you been to a Fridays yet?
yeah,
Yes.
so done
Yeah.
2.
So to say events and pads and stuff like burnout events. Back to that question: burnout events, brash nats, family events, Autofest. Probably the best event as such
is Fridays. But we get to put the girls in the car.
because we get the kids sessions. You know, it's
That's-
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Didn't you do
Ryan
like
does a
7
good event.
sets of tyres before midday one time?
Yeah, before like 10:30. Oh no,
It's easily
10:30.
done.
I'd done 5, and then I had 2 more, which I had like 2 skids to do. So I was
Yeah.
like, I'm out of tires.
Yeah, we're looking for
And
tyres.
then I was like, how do I
That's
get
crazy.
to? I was like, how do I get to like what happens after 1 p.m?
Yeah.
Like I'm done.
Well, that was
Oh.
like
Yeah.
Phoenix kept going out for Power Cruise.
I'll stick
We
around
were
for a second.
limited because we only brought 9 sets. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
you can use it as much. Like it just kept going. It was
Yeah.
and we've never done a full Power Cruise without breaking the car. So that
Yeah.
was we were like we woke up Sunday morning. We're like
We broke the curse, the Power Cruise curse.
Yeah.
So-
Sunday morning we were both thinking it, and it waited till the car loaded, and Matt put one little on the snatch on the
straps to strap it into
and
the
we're
trailer.
like, holy shit, we did it. And he's like, I know. Like, I didn't want to jinx it. He's like, I don't
It's
want to
not
jinx
leaking
it either.
oil. It's not broken.
It's got to be the best feeling, eh?
Yeah.
Driving back on.
But yeah, like Power Cruise, what we worked out was 18 times we've been to Power Cruise.
Yeah.
And yeah, never done a whole Power Cruise ever with
Yeah.
any car.
That was what I originally built my car for, Power Cruise, like
Yeah.
back in the day.
Well, we didn't know of any other events. We didn't know of any other worlds. We just
Well, there wasn't much back then.
No.
yeah.
It was all just Power Cruise, and then there was drag racing. I feel was bigger
Yeah, yeah,
back
definitely.
then than it is now. Like the no prep stuff's still big and all that
Yeah.
jamboree and that still
Yeah.
goes off. But
Well,
like,
It's now like we're trying to look. Matt's got to put leave in like a year in advance to get leave,
yeah,
and
So hard to
trying
get
to
leave.
plan next year is beyond because all these events like this year, we could skid every weekend if you want to at the moment. Like with
Just
the amount of
about.
events that are on.
Yeah.
and then you got your big USA trip to plan as well. So,
Yeah.
One
You're like
day, one day.
2026. I'm taking the year off.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
just quit for 2020.
Yeah, Work watches this. They're like, you what? Like, I'm just joking. Like, but
think-
maybe.
I think next year will be
Yeah.
good. Like next year will be good to see what happens over there. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot of like rumblings and a lot of
Yeah,
stuff that we heard and stuff like that over there. But
everyone
it just hasn't
seems
come
to
yet.
be trying to get their piece of the pie, like especially with that Summer Nuts announcement.
Yeah,
Like-
I think that's
Brought a lot of people out of the woodwork, that's for sure.
It's very, very interesting for me,
But I did like some of the comments on there. The comments are saying like out west or South Australia, like there's
Like,
still
let's get an
so
event
many.
to every state in Australia first before you worry about going overseas. Let's deck ourselves out before we go over there.
There's still room, and it's changed in the last couple of years. That
I'm not saying that over there's not a bad thing. Like,
I can personally understand both arguments.
Yeah.
Like, like
the amount
sort
of
out your own
cars that are out
backyard,
there now.
and there's also the population alone
Yes.
trumps us by fucking that many millions.
The room for
like
growth over there.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's like
we've had the discussion. You know, like you aim to please 4% of Australia's population.
Yeah. You take that over there.
You take the 4% of America's
one
population
state.
is all of Australia.
Yeah.
Every single person.
So it's like, well, wouldn't you take the sport of burnouts and like even now, like watching it where it's gone so far over there, it's ridiculous. Like, it's gone gangbusters.
Yeah, it's grown quick.
Yeah.
Like and it's only going to get quicker and quicker and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So if we can sort of jump on at the same time,
Yeah.
and go for it. So I understand the people that are like, travel Australia or do this stuff. It's like, cool, but this is happening right now.
Yeah.
You either want to be on it or like,
We've always been New South Wales team out the bonnet because of my drunken harping to build team out the bonnet. And today when I ordered the plates, I ordered Phoenix new plates as well that say Australia. So
there we go.
he was
One
quite
step towards that.
pushy at that. So
Step across the water.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's good.
it'll happen eventually.
Yeah, we might both be in a container together. Who knows?
Why not?
We'll see. Kieran's like,
Pink and purple.
We'll see. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. For sure. I think we'll probably wrap it up there.
Yeah.
I think
Yes,
that's
guys.
it's
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for jumping on. We appreciate both of yous.
Yeah.
Putting some time aside, and the girls sitting in the background, playing with my dog when they can, and using themselves a couple of hours while we talk some cars and stuff.
No, it's good. It's nice to get a bit of a story behind Phoenix.
Yeah.
There's so much more to discuss, but it's nice to be asked.
100%. Yeah. No, it's been good for sure. So we definitely appreciate it, and
It's what we're trying to do. Trying to spread because everyone's got a story, and it's just interesting because then people can relate to parts of your story, and people love watching this stuff.
100%.
Yeah. When we created it, it was like we're trying to give a platform for everyone just to tell their story.
Yeah.
And like, we're not
especially for your fans who like,
Yes.
they will, who don't have 2 hours to speak. Well, you don't have 2 hours at a show to speak to them, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Well, like Phoenix is like an absolute lifesaver with us. Like the last 6 years for Matt and I have been absolute hell, and rather than we were in a shit mood, we'd just go sit out there and tinker with it. And he'd come home from work and I'd just be tinkering or something in the interior. Like it's literally saved our lives. We've Matt's had heart surgery, his dad's died, I've gone through my injury, which has been a whole life-changing scenario. Like there's way too many reasons we should have given up, but that car has become more than a car, and she is Phoenix.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That is really good. It's really good, and it's great to hear the story and how it all started and like where it is now, and hopefully where it's going to go.
Yeah, we can't wait to see where she ends up.
In another country.
Yeah.
Everyone at the couch was like, "Oh shit, here we go."
Here we go.
But it's been great. So thank yous, and we're happy to. I'm definitely keen on watching you like grow and where you go.
Thanks, guys.
We'll try to keep up with the car.
And we'll be along for the ride for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll
Thanks,
be fun.
guys.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Let's go.
Thank you.